They do not know the rising towers of Hillbrow. They do not know the sprawling suburbs of the north. They do not know the sweet sounds of isiXhosa, Afrikaans, Sesotho. They do not know our ways. They do not know our people. They do not know us. We are not waiting for permission. We are not asking to be seen. We are our own region. We are SSA, RSC Johannesburg, RSC Nairobi, RSC Saint-Denis. This is not just a league, it is a movement. 4 seasons deep, and we are only just beginning. We train on 200 ping. We grind through blackout. We fight through silence. And we win anyway. This is Sub-Saharan Africa. This is our fight. This is Season 4.
Welcome to week 6 of RSC. We're coming to the end, 28 days until the end of RSC Season 4. Every game from here has ratcheted up in importance, and we will be bringing you 4 of them tonight. For the first time, I think this season, we are representing every tier on stream tonight. But first up, as always, this is all being made possible by the support of the community itself, but also our sponsors, Genesis Extreme, bringing us the broadcast. And then, of course, Nearstream joining us late in the season. And man, oh man, has their support been amazing. Thank you to Nearstream, especially on the LAN over the weekend. And then our prize pool being brought to us by Slayer Energy, and the prize pool, 15,000 Rand guaranteed, and then currently it's at 17,650 due to the pre-orders of GG's Gamer Serum. Thank you very much to our sponsors. This is where we are. We started all the way back in August. We're now week 6, 6th of October. Then there's just 7, 8, and 9, and then playoffs the first week in November. So we are close to the end. Hang in there. These are the games we got on tonight, and then we're starting with Elite, then we go to Prospect, Rival, and then we will end the night with Master Tier. Unity showing up twice in Elite and in Prospect. Ox and Omnius will be our first games. And what are they competing for? Of course, the league standings in each tier, but there is also the franchise standings, the franchise race. Currently, Cosmico at the top there, but look at how close it is. We are neck and neck up the top there, separated only by goal difference, Cosmico and Death Cloud. And they are some distance ahead of the next contenders, but still a lot to fight for. So the every series from here, every game in every tier, important for the franchise standings to see how that pans out. So game number 1 is going to be Unity and Ox, formerly Unitox, but they've separated. So our casters for the first 2 series, let's welcome them in. Borky and Tristan. Borky, a hero of the LAN this past weekend, getting up very early, dressing up, coming on to the LAN. Hello, Borky.
Hello, Graybeard. Pleasure to be back, for week 6. It's a great matchup that we have here. I know both of these teams are sitting near the top of the standings for Elite, so I'm excited to see that. And I promise I won't be biased as a Unity caster.
Tristan, are you coming in with a preordained bias, or are you the classic professional unbiased caster?
Oh, well, I mean, I was with Omnius from July and before that for a couple of months, so we've got two games with them tonight. But in relative terms, in terms of commentating, I'm pretty unbiased and it more just comes down to what the players can actually give us out on the field. Whoever can present the most amount of action is going to be my favorite pick for tonight.
Well said. Well, let's look at the standings. Let's see what is being battled for. Unity up against Ox in our first match tonight. And when we look at the standings for Prospect, we see how close these two teams are. Is that the? Oh, there we go. I thought of. I'm not okay. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure, because in Elite. We've actually
looking at Rival.
Yeah, we're looking at Rival over there, because over in Elite, Mzansi, Magic, Unity, Ox, Orox, they are second and third place. There you see it. They are separated by a single game. So, gentlemen, this means everything. So I think we've had the players in the lobby for some time, so we don't want to keep them waiting for too much longer. So Borky and Tristan, I'm going to hand it over to you to bring us into the game and get it going.
Oh, thank you very much, Graybeard. It is Unity versus Ox. We talked about that divorce they had. It's time to see who's going to come out on top between this one. Maybe a little bit of a grudge match between these two orgs, but I do have to say their performances since splitting have been a lot better in comparison to some other seasons. But we looked at those standings. Unity sitting at second, Ox is just below them, and I feel like this game could really tip the scale.
Yeah, 100%. There is a lot on the line here tonight. We've seen both of these teams play in previous matches, and we know exactly how they play. They're aggressive, they're ready to get to that ball, and they're ready to pocket as many goals in as possible. So it's going to be a tight one against the two. And like you mentioned, this is the battle for those final couple of podium spots here in the standings, because obviously Unity holding off in second and Ox just there in third. You know, they could be wanting to fight up and potentially sweep them under for second. So we'll have to see how the games go for tonight. For the first one here in Elite Series, it's going to be a great one to watch, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is week 6. There's only 3 weeks left after this before we hit the playoffs. So, honestly, the games here tonight, especially this one, some of them could really be season-defining and really cement yourself in those final standings. Because, yeah, there are other matches that are going to be played, but when we're this far along into league play, it feels like the top dogs are kind of already in their spots. But we'll just have to see. I know the players got iced a little bit, so hopefully they're keeping the engines warm and we can just jump right into the action once everyone's all set and ready. But I'm really curious to see how Ox is going to come out here with their performance, because I know if we look over at the likes for this Unity roster, we have Tubbsy, Stolzy, who had a pretty impressive performance over at the LAN, King Richard, and Genie, who are all players I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. So the rosters are going to come into key play. And like you mentioned as well, there's so many players on here, especially with it being the elite category of here, is that most of the players playing tonight, especially in this match with Unity versus Ox, are going to be well-experienced veterans in the game of Rocket League. And as you mentioned, you've seen them at LANs, you've seen them all over the place. And if you've been watching the previous weeks here of RSC, you've seen their names before and you've seen some of the goals and plays that they've made. So we're going to get to see it here again tonight. And like we mentioned, it's a close one between the two. They were once together, they've been separated, and now versing each other once and for all over here on the field to potentially change up a little bit of positioning on that championship standing. But it's all going to come down to how they play here, because we are very close to getting onto that field.
Yeah, and I know that Voods and Hecky are both very good friends, so I mean, even for them, this game's kind of some bragging rights that they get to hold over one or the other. We get to finally see who got the better of that divorce, who's going to get the house. I guess we could say there. We know Bromeo is over on Ox now, so they won that custody battle. But enough yapping, there's action to be played. Unity versus Ox kicking off now.
Yeah, and already the plays are being made, because Unity a little bit under pressure. There's the ball's being chucked right into their side. Tubbsy trying to counter it though onto the side of Ox. Stolzy trying to repercuss off of the side of Tubbsy into the back of the net over there, but once again received by Ox. Sonic and Tim Tam trying their absolute best to get this ball cleared, as it's getting a little bit close for comfort here in this side of the field. And here comes Sonic, almost attempting a sweep around there for the Unity crew. And it's going back to the Unity goal. Nobody's there to save it. And Eclipse will take a goal over there. And that's put Ox already 1-0 into the lead for game number 1.
Just such a great challenge there as well, completely catching Unity's rotation off guard there. Allowed them that opening, they take advantage of it. So it is Ox that draws first blood here off the kickoff. We're going to see Sonic getting some possession behind this one. Ox to play towards the sidewall. Bouncing here now into the midfield. Tubbsy tries to clear the pressure. Eclipse, though, pushes it right back in. It's going to be some good stellar hold here for Unity right now, just making sure Ox doesn't get a firm footing on their final third. As now we head off of the sidewall, this one will come into the middle. 2 do go for Unity, but nothing comes away with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing being rendered there just yet. And now, once again, it's back onto the opposing side for Unity, and they've got to defend here. Tim Tam up into the air, trying to play the read off of Tubbsy and potentially get a ball into the back of the net. Cleared, though, from the Unity crew, and now back onto the side of Ox Gaming for a potential goal here for the Unity crew, but it all comes down to who can do what over here as it gets cleared once again by Tubbsy. Thrown back, though, towards the lion's nest there by Sonic. And now all the players just trying to scramble and find their way around this ball. Tim Tam coming with the Fuchser pinch off the wall. And it's going to be a great center there for his teammates. Just nobody there to receive it, unfortunately. And Eclipse trying to make up for that missed opportunity. Now back onto the ball, though, for Unity. Stolzy trying to carry it up for his teammates. That's just not enough. The defense is great so far, though, from both sides.
I think that what's just kind of giving the edge right now is that speed for Ox. As soon as Unity tries to develop some offense, you have somebody instantly challenging to the ball, creating some awkward looks here. Ox will have to play some defense for now. We'll see this one find its way over to the sidewall. Sonic trying to clear it out, but Tubbsy keeps us back in. Stolzy not able to get a touch around that one, so we'll have to just retreat here for Unity, collect some boost, regain back to the drawing board, but Eclipse not giving them any room to breathe. Exactly as I was mentioning, just so quick to the balls is Ox. Tubbsy, and you get a touch here. He's got a 1v1 against Eclipse. Teammate coming in from the middle, but Eclipse puts us up high, clears the backboard as well, and Ox survives.
Yeah, what a great defensive play there from Ox Gaming. I mean, Eclipse, well aware of the situation, sends the ball sky high and just allows his players to have a bit of a think as to where they want to plant that ball. So great thinking on their feet over there. But now back onto Unity. They're in that defensive net, that opposing net, and trying to get the ball into the back. It's not going to be enough, though, as Eclipse has managed to turn it around. And out on the threatening side there for Unity once more, trying to clear it, those Tubbsy, and he sends a roller of a ball straight to the net. Fortunately saved there by one of the Ox Gaming crew members, and just ever so slightly managing to save that goal. But now back on towards a couple of the players. Tubbsy trying to receive it midair from one of the Ox players, and Stolzy also just trying to come against that ball as it falls down towards the floor, and again trying to find the play. You can see there's somebody in the net, and oh, it's just not enough. And Stolzy coming in with a great defensive play and a great attacking measure over there. Very nice to put it into the back. Sonic just could not do anything about that one.
Love that heads-up play there from King Richard, disrupting Sonic there, and net gets the play set up and instantly turns his car looking for that demo. It doesn't connect, but still, by the time all is said and clear, Sonic's awkward, and Stolzy, all he has to do is find the other side of the net. It's a great way for Unity to get a goal to respond here. That clock was ticking quite a bit, so it became a little worrisome, but back to a level playing field here. It is Unity here off of the kickoff that are going to get a majority of this pressure. King Richard leaves that one for Stolzy. It's a nice clear there from Sonic. He will get some possession of himself. Splits this one up high towards the net. It's not going to be any connection. No one from Ox, though, will be there around to follow up.
Yeah, there's so many great plays going on around field over here, and like you mentioned, the heat and the pressure is currently back to a neutral state because Ox was holding it quite neatly for the most part of this game. But Unity, thankfully, with about 40 seconds left, are now equally tied, but never mind. Sonic decides to change the factor of the game over here and sends another one into the back of the net. And Ox reclaims their lead that they were holding beforehand, and that's 2-1 with 40 seconds left of game time over here. So lots of pressure on Unity to try and recover this game and get those points on the board. as it's going to be tight now because Eclipse, the likes of Eclipse, Tim and Sonic from Ox Gaming are just going to be playing the defensive game now, not allowing any goals to come through their net.
Yeah, if you're Ox, that's exactly what you want to do, is just park that bus. You just have to survive these last 25 seconds. It's a great pass coming in, but we won't find King Richard behind that one. The opportunity goes to the wayward side. 15 seconds now remain here. Unity are down 1, but they're pinned in their own half now. They need to find an escape soon. Stolzy will set that up here. One final push here. This is going to decide the game. Tubbsy gets us into the midfield. Richard has a shot, but this one is cleared away by Sonic. Eclipse is going to maybe put one away for insult to injury, but it is Ox that take game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Tubbsy almost just shot that ball straight into the back of the net there. That was an extremely close measure over there for Unity to try and even out on that final couple of seconds. But that's your scoreboard after this match. Ox Gaming will take the win after game number 1 of this 4-match series. And as you can see there, pretty good carry coming from Sonic. 420 points on the leaderboard. Not too many names other than himself to be contested. So great stuff there from Ox Gaming to pull themselves well into the lead here, and that's going to be some good points for game number 1. But now the pressure's on Unity to either try and equal it out, or there might already be 2 games down in this 4-game series.
Yeah, and I mean, if we just look at the stats along the board here, Unity, 7 shots to Ox's 6 saves. So yeah, Unity was getting looks, they were getting pressure, but it was Sonic there on the goal line with his 3 saves, and it just a really impressive rotation that Ox was able to produce. That just kind of seemed like anytime Unity got an attack going or started to develop some identity there on offense, it was quickly nullified. So they're definitely going to have to find a way to disrupt that defense, potentially, whether it's bringing out bumps like we saw King Richard with the first goal that Unity got there, or if it just comes down to simply looking for more passing options.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to change up a bit as we already head into game number 2. And so Unity possibly trying to find another game straight over here, because Ox have got some incredible defense, and they've got those extremely sneaky attack measures to try and get that ball into the back of the net with 0 consequence possible. And that's what they were able to do last game with the 2-1 win. And so now the pressure on Unity, and as you can see, they're already trying to make it go through, but unfortunately Tim just turns it around. I mean, Unity were having quite a good attacking state over there, and Tim just completely turning it around. That's a 1-up there for Ox Gaming already into game number 2 with just 19 seconds played.
What a shot there from Tim, already downfield. It's spotted, the pass comes in, everything just seemed to go in favor of Ox there off of the first 30 seconds of this game. So for Unity, already once again on your back foot here, they will get some pressure though. That demo comes out, it's a big opportunity, and King Richard in a blink of an eye will get us all equalized.
King Richard is trying to keep his team in play over here, and an incredible goal to even out, because it's quite a scary thing when your opponent gets a goal in so quickly in a 5-minute match. And so counter-attacking that with another goal with just 5 to 10 seconds after that is a great way to keep yourself in game, but it's just not enough, because Eclipse saw the kickoff, he saw the vulnerability, and completely took his chance. A good bump there from Tim off the 50-50, and that just leaped the ball into the air. Great shot from Eclipse to net it in for a second goal here.
What is happening here? I mean, we saw 3 goals in that first game. We're not even a minute in, and we already have 3 recorded here. Both of these teams just being absolutely unrelenting. It is Oxa that end up on top once again once all the dust has settled. We'll see Tubbsy collecting the ball here. We'll get a full tank of boost as well, so plenty of room and time and space to work with, trying to get this infield, but the pass doesn't connect. Still behind that though, almost able to create a solo play off of that, but Ox, quick counterattack, flipping the pitch in an instant, and we'll just have to see if Stolzy can collect us out.
Yeah, Tubbsy saw that shot was not going to be received by his teammate and very quickly turned it around to try and turn it into a solo play, like you said, and he was almost successful with it as well. So great stuff coming from Tubbsy to try and keep this in play over here, because 2 goals in, Fox get another one. They're already starting to run away then with the 2-goal lead. So this is what they're trying to do now, is keep the ball away from their net and just try and get one more in to even out the playing field. It's a little bit difficult at the time being because I'm sure you can all notice that Ox are playing incredibly aggressive right now to just try and get one more ball in possibly and generate a little bit more of a lead, as that's what we keep on seeing. It's back and forth between all the two teams over here, and all drivers and players just trying to make their way around it. But Tim Tam is on a charge once more to get another goal in. The ball's gone to the center. Can someone receive it? And it's a great double tap from Sonic to take it to 3-1 for Ox Gaming.
You just see Ox absolutely suffocating here on Unity. It just felt like anytime they tried to open up that pressure relief valve, somebody from Ox slapped that hand away and just continuously barraged that net. Eventually it will break through, and Ox 2-goal cushion here now. Sub-Z maybe looking to cut that deficit back to 1 if he can. King Richard will have to patiently wait for Eclipse's turn on the ball. Instead, it finds itself right back into the other corner. Unity, you can't allow Ox to get in rhythm here, because once they do, we've seen what has happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Ox gets another play going over here, which, as we can see, it's slowly starting to be generated, they could pull themselves to a 3-goal lead. I mean, they took it from 1 to 2 with relative efficiency, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled over here for what Ox Gaming can do in these dire moments. Just over 2 minutes left of play here, so there's still a lot of time on the board for Unity to make this recovery and potentially get that game to win. But for the time being, it's not looking too good for them, because Ox once again are on a very aggressive charge to get that ball pocketed in the back of the net. And now with the clips, you can see the pressure is on as he just waits patiently to receive that ball on the ground. Tim Tam up in the air, tries to get a good clear and a great rotational clear over there, as now it's up to Eclipse, but he's trying to read the rest of the team there from Unity, but it's a demo on his side, so no further carry there from Eclipse. And you can see Unity are trying so hard to just deny Ox of anything here.
Oh, but it's a big opening here for King Richard, just not able to squeeze that one past that final defender there for Ox. And that little bit of Unity offense quickly fizzles out, and it's going to be a 4th goal here for Ox. You might have committed a little bit too far forward trying to throw the kitchen sink at them, and Tim Tam just snipes it from across field.
Yeah, incredible snipe there from Tim Tam. I mean, that was what a range of a shot that was to further extend that cushion up to 3 goals now. And as you can see, Stolzy not happy with what's going on, gives Tim Tam one big punt there up on the ceiling side. And now it's up to King Richard to defend. But what has gone wrong with Unity's defense in this match? We said they have to change something, but they've changed it for the worse. They played a way better game last game. They're just feeling the pressure here tonight from Ox Gaming. That's a 4-goal lead in game number 2.
This really does not look like the Unity we know here in Elite. Unity have only conceded 38 goals. They are tied for the lowest in the Elite teams. So for Ox to be coming out here and putting up 5, that's quite a statement. They are definitely showing they want to take that second positioning away here for Unity, but we'll just have to see how Unity is able to respond. This one's looking like it is going to go 2-0 here in the series for Ox, unless some last 30-second miracles come out. But you just really have to wonder what changes need to be made.
What we usually see with these best of 4 games is it's similar to like a sports match, like a rugby or soccer, is that after your first 2, that's technically your first half done, and then you've got another 2. And what we usually tend to see is the team that's not doing too well tends to come back in that second round of games, where it's game 3 and game number 4. So is it going to be the case for Unity? They have managed to tuck another goal in over there. So that's 2-5 now for them, but it's still not enough. With 17 seconds left, I don't think it's enough to get 5 goals in and equal it out for overtime over here. So for the time being, this is going to be a loss on the notch there of the belt, and they'll have to just take it to game number 3.
Yeah, for Ox, put themselves in perfect position now to take this series away. It's going to be Eclipse here, 3 seconds left. This goal doesn't really matter. It's just more insult to injury and showing off the mechanics. A great catch there, getting it threaded through that tight space. Unity, though, need to go back to the drawing board for this one. It is 4 games regardless. Every game does matter. You have potential to tie things up, but Ox, one more win, and they take the series.
Yeah, one more win here for Ox, and that's going to be some great points on the board for that championship standings and really looking to rival out that second position. But my goodness, look at that charge from Eclipse. 735 points in this game, 4 shots on goal and 2 saves. So incredible work there coming from the Ox Gaming team, and just not enough for Unity to keep up. You can see the demos were quite on par there, with Unity taking a little bit more there, a couple spread across all players, with each player getting at least 1 demo. So a little bit of frustration being shown there from Unity after this 6-2 loss. And so with that 4-game series, we're already at the halftime mark now, 2-0 to Ox Gaming. I mean, what are we expecting now for this final 2 games? Because it looks like Unity have really been put in the back burners.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned after that first game that it was a bit of a Sonic carry. Well, I think Eclipse and Tim Tams took that to heart because both of them had a phenomenal showing there. And it just feels like everybody from Ox is really clicking well. In Unity, they're just kind of stalling out. We're seeing some offense. They're getting some looks. But as soon as they do get into that final third, it's like a shot and then you're instantly back on defense. So you really just need to find a way to disrupt, find a way to break through this, what feels impenetrable wall for Ox. And it's game 3, a perfect time to do that. And Unity, you need it now.
Unity needed now more than ever. If we spoke about changing strategy up a little bit in the previous game, and my goodness, here they come with a potential comeback in the second half because they've taken it by storm. This time around, Unity will take the first goal of the game. It looked like an unfortunate pass back and just an easy receival there from Tubbsy to sink it in there for a 1-0 lead. But Unity, even though it's 1-goal lead, they have to watch out because Ox have got the charge from the previous 2 games. And so if they keep that charge up and that aggressive play that they were having in the first 2 games, it could be danger. But for the time being, they've got a little bit of a cushion.
Rocket League's all a momentum-based game, in my opinion. If Unity come out and take that first goal, they're going to be able to build off that, especially a lovely one there that Tubbsy was able to find in. But you have to be careful because Eclipse, he's been finding these angles all series long. And yet again, it's a big mistake, a little too far forward. And Ox, well, they're just going to right their wrongs instantly.
Stolzy was not ready for that one. He was sitting at the back of the goal, waiting for something to happen, and Eclipse came with such a speed into that net, and that ball just flew straight over Stolzy, and he could not do anything about it. So this is what they're going to have to do now. They've lost that competitive edge now, and from a 1-0 lead to now a flat 1-1, and it's practically back to square root for these players. And so now the potential shining can come back for Ox Gaming if they pull those strategies from the previous game. You spoke about Rocket League being a momentum game. Well, it could also be a momentum game in a series factor, because we've seen Ox Gaming how they've pulled it off in the first 2 games, and Eclipse is so hungry for goals tonight that we could potentially see it again in game number 3.
Looks like the comms are just a step up here. It's Tim Tam who puts that downfield and then instantly, again, just turns his car looking to find a Unity player like a heat-seeking missile and then deletes him from the pitch. And by then, it's too little too late. That ball's already in the wrong direction. So Unity, once again, do find themselves down here. It is King Richard on a solo play. 3 Ox players in net jump for this one. And it's Stolzy on the rebound, doing some nice janitorial duties and cleaning this goal up.
What an incredible comeback there from Unity over there. Great goal from Stolzy as well. I mean, great read off of the front bumper of one of Ox Gaming's cars and just able to sink it from an upside down shot off the ceiling over there. So great stuff to even it out. 2-2 though with 3 minutes left. This game is still open to go absolutely anywhere at this point. But the ball currently with Stolzy passing up, and we're on board now with the likes of Tubbsy, and you can see him reading, trying to find a potential player. But now it's up with Sonic And as you can see, the communication between Ox Gaming, players are ready to receive a pass towards the midfield, and Unity just able to stop that pass. And now it's potential danger for Ox Gaming. Tubsy very close to getting that into the left quadrant of the net, and now it's all up to defense here for Ox Gaming. The demos are coming in as well for Tubsy, just trying to reduce the numbers here, but it's not going to be enough. But Stolzy back on the attack.
Really liking this newfound look here for Unity. We're getting some elongated offensive pushes. This is probably one of the longest that they've had in this entire series. So if they can keep this up, they might give Ox a taste of their own medicine. It's just the rotations are coming in. Tubsy is forcing players here to commit off of the back line. It will be a long clearance here, though, from Eclipse. That does stuff out this offense for a little bit, but if Stolzy's able to get a touch around this, might be able to resume the program.
Resume the program indeed, because it's super flatline right now for both teams. 2-2 with 2 minutes left. We've had a full minute of playtime here where absolutely nothing has happened. It's been a pass and play match in the midfield, and no shots on goal yet. Oh, as I say it, an incredible shot there from Tim Tam. But now it's coming backwards because Tubsy read the receiver, and almost for Stolzy there, Tim Tam managing to get his cars within there and just block that goal, because the likes of Stolzy was coming in extremely hot, and you can just see Tubsy aerialing in the air over there, trying to get something sorted out for King Richard and Stolzy to get that competitive edge, because the time is ticking down. 1.5 minutes left. Great save from Tubsy. It's not going to be enough though. Tim Tam reads it off the roof of Tubsy and into the back of the net. Once again, Ox Gaming into the lead.
Great rebound there from Tim Tam, being in the right position at the right time. That ball served on a silver platter off of the roof of the Unity defender, and then Ox Gaming will eventually break that little bit of a stalemate we found ourselves in here. King Richard off the kickoff, trying to get us back on the attack here for Unity. Stolzy on the follow-up. This one will clear down the field, and believe it's Sonic that was already up there, gets a pass over, and Eclipse, look at the speed he was screeching in with this one, is going to find the fourth and put a bit of a cushion here over Unity.
My goodness, what an aerial redirect for Eclipse. I mean, you saw him jump up in the air there. He was facing completely away from the ball and just able to navigate that car in the right trajectory and into the bottom left corner. What an absolute shot to get that two-goal cushion. But Unity have re-answered back over there to reduce that cushion with, because it's back down to 1 goal. Great shot on goal there from Tubsy. Just missing that ball from one of the Ox Gaming defenders on the top side of the crossbar, and the ball dropping down to the floor. Great receive from Tubsy and into the back of the net. But once again with our kickoff, Tim Tam gets the advantage, but Stolzy reads it, and now up with Sonic trying to get it away from his goal. It's a good read though, but here it comes. It's the shot. Great deflect from Tim Tam, just letting the ball roll off the hood of his car.
It's not over until it is over. Unity coming in here. Stolzy trying to thread the needle. The shot is only good past 1. The second man does come behind and collect. King Richard going for a bit of a back pass. Stolzy will get collection of this one. Not able to find his second touch, but it's some good looks here from Unity. Sonic, though, trying to kill this clock. Play a game of keep away. Tim Tam into the midfield. Does get a shot on target. This one from Eclipse should be the dagger. And I mean,
this guy,
Unity, you had your chance.
Yeah, they absolutely had their chance. This guy he's probably going to earn himself player of the series for this first series of the night. I mean, Eclipse has been on fire tonight with these rebound and out of nowhere goals. I mean, we've seen this guy fly in from past the halfway line and sink the ball into the back of the net, and further extending and saving Ox from that pressure twice in a row this game already. And incredible stuff there, because we're counting down now from the 5-second countdown, and it's gonna land on the floor, and Ox Gaming take the 3rd win here, undefeated so far in this series.
Ox looking for the sweep here now. I mean, it's confirmed that they have won the series. They are currently up 3-0. I mean, Eclipse has just really come into form as well. The first game they got the scoring started, then it was a little bit slow from them, and then since then they just have not let off the gas pedal.
No, absolutely not. Ox have been on a hungry charge here tonight to get this series going, and they've done an incredible job at it as well, because like you mentioned, if this was a best of series, they've already won it completely. I mean, a 3-0, regardless of how the next game goes, Ox have got the total winning score over here. But this is not a best of, this is a standard series length, so we'll still play that fourth game just for points on the championship standings over there. But for the time being, Ox have played a massive threat to that second position held by Unity.
Yeah, and I mean, for Unity, keep playing. Every game does matter. We are in week 6. There's not a lot of time left. And Ox, well, they're looking like they're going to steal your second position away from you. So if you are able to get a win here and then catapult that for the rest of the season, you have plenty of opportunity to get yourselves right back into that spot. But for right now, it's been all Ox here. So I just want to see if Unity can respond and how they're going to respond as we do approach game number 4.
The Ox has given its horns yet tonight with 3 games already under the belt, but for the final time here, who will take the win of this 4-match series? For the time being, though, the ball is held tightly with Unity. It's a shot already for Timtam on the bottom left side of Unity's goal. All the way back, though. Great clearance there from Tubbsy. And almost a shot there from one of the flying Rogers over there of Unity. We just saw him fly past the camera. Here comes Tubbsy, though, with a great shot. And completely unexpected there for Sonic, holding off on the bottom left of the goal there. I mean, look at this. Tubbsy all the way from over halfway line and just pocketing it left side. Sonic attempts the backflip, but just not enough to get the ball stopped.
If we had a highlight reel for this match, I feel like a majority of it would just be the quality of goals
literally
put up here. I mean, each one is just absolute flawless, and you have to admire it. And for Unity, again, we find ourselves in a similar situation to that last game. They get that early goal lead. However, this time they hold on to it for a little bit longer. Tubbsy sends that one downfield, is reading this off the sidewall as well. Not going to be able to get another touch to get it into the midfield. King Richard tried to follow up on it, but it's going to be Ox instantly flipping here on the counterattack.
Yeah, if we had a highlight reel just for this series on best shots of the game, it would literally be 90% composed of Timtam and Tubbsy and Eclipse. I mean, these 3 have been insane with some of the direct shots, and it's left open for Stolzy to pocket it in the left side. So what was happening over there? The goal was left open wide, and Timtam, just not getting it far enough. He tried to have a little bit of a backwards, bit of a backflip kick away from the net, but just not enough power to get it cleared. And great goal coming in from Unity for the second time over here. They look like they're trying to claim those final couple of points in this match.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. You know, Ox came in swinging, you took a couple punches. You might as well come away with something if you can. Unity find themselves their first 2-goal lead of this series. Ox has been in that position a couple times here. So if Unity can keep this up, I'm going to start asking, where was this the first 3 games? But right now, doing a good job controlling the pitch.
Yeah, incredible job in controlling this pitch for the time being. And Unity have really claimed their spot here in this final match. They know that they've lost the previous 3 by quite a storm on Ox Gaming, but this is the final match, and this is still time for them to prove their worth and keep that second position slot on the championship standing boards. And so for the time being, as you can see, almost a shot there for Ox Gaming, but great clearance from the Unity boys. But once again, it's up. Good deflect there from Stolzy to get it going backwards. Timtam reads it though, and Tubbsy already in the air. Read that like an absolute book to stop the play from happening. And Unity just having so much possession at this point to keep that ball out of their net.
Eclipse, though, been the catalyst here for Ox on numerous occasions, trying to set up a goal there. It did find a teammate, but it was Unity that just happened to get a wheel on it. Stolzy collects this one off of a bit of a mistouch, fakes out one, and can he get it across? King Richard was there patiently waiting for it to come, but it just happened to be a bit too high, a bit too slow. Ox clears it out, but they're not out of the woods just yet, because here comes another one here from Stolzy over to King Richard. Another pass. The passes are connecting, they just don't really have a lot of substance behind them.
Yeah, there's just not enough for that ball to get into the back of the net. But for the time being, though, we still have 1 minute and 40 seconds of play, and Unity holding off strong. But, oh, there we go. A good counter attack from Ox Gaming. Eclipse pockets it in the bottom left corner. And once again, the goal left completely open for Eclipse, and nobody there to defend him. And straight into the back of the net. But I gotta say, it's quite funny if you watch it. Anytime the ball goes anywhere near the net, you'll see one of the players from either team flying so fast across the pitch to try and get one of those predicted shots in. And oh, there comes a third from Stolzy, and Unity just generating even more of a lead here.
Yeah, that's a really good response there from Unity as well. You managed to drop that goal. You just instantly restore that 2-goal lead. And I mean, it came off of the kickoff too. So we weren't playing at a disadvantage there for that long. It is Tubbsy here following another kickoff, pushing this ball towards that Ox net. You will see that it's Sonic that gets us cleared out. A follow-up there from Tim Tam. It's a big battle with the ceiling that allows Unity right back in here to offense, but Eclipse, what can he do? What magic can he work here if Ox want to get that perfect sweep? They have a minute to try to get 2 goals, and for Unity, it's just holding on to some dignity.
Yeah, unfortunately for Eclipse, 1 versus 3 will always be off of his favor as he tries to attack the net at full speed with all 3 Unity members in the defensive line. But oh, here comes a shot. Great deflector from one of the Unity players, as they just do not allow that ball to get past their defensive line. And now, once again, they keep on reverting it. They do an incredible job at reverting it as they almost send it into the back of the net. But every single time that ball comes across their net, they completely turn the game around and start trailing towards the backside of Ox Gaming's net. But now with Stolzy trying to pass it further up, it's read though by the likes of Eclipse. He's sending it up, he's passed it up mid. It's a little bit too hard though for his teammates to receive. And now this is dangerous because Unity, with a little bit of momentum provided by Eclipse, this could be a goal, but again, over the net here. So just not enough for these players to get 1 more goal in.
We will find ourselves on the final 10 counting here on our screen. Unity in prime position to at least deny the sweep, get a win in the column regardless. It will be a look. That shot is going to be kept out. 0 seconds, touches the ground. Unity claim 1, but Ox take the series 3-1.
Yeah, Ox have shown their domination yet tonight and taking the match by storm, but Unity taking the final round over here of the 4-match series for the win. Tubbsy with the MVP here, 449 points to his name. Some incredible shots, 3 shots and 3 saves. So great job from himself to keep that play going. But that's the first series over. I mean, how did we feel about that? That was some incredible playing we saw from the elite players.
Yeah, it's not what I was expecting. I was honestly expecting things to look a lot closer there, especially with the stature of Unity and how well they've been doing this season. So for me, it's a bit of a shocker, but I believe we might have Graybeard joining us here to tell us his thoughts on that game as well.
Well, I think Unity might have just saved face at the end. I'd love to have a look at the league table, because if my maths are correct, and chances are it's not, I think Unity and Ox are sort of neck and neck now, because at the start of this, Unity were ahead by a single game. Okay, my maths are of course wrong, because what that means now is that Ox have moved up to 16 wins, and Mzansi Magic Unity are on 15. So Ox closing the distance on Death Cloud, and Unity falling into 3rd place outside of the automatic playoff slot. So a bit of a sweat fest for them. So they have got big work to do in the closing weeks. But Ox doing themselves huge favors by their 3-1 win here. And it looked like Bromeo was saying in chat before the start that Ox would clear, and it seemed like a bit of a jaded, tainted view since he was cut from Unity. But as it turns out, that was a solid prediction. Ox Gaming doing very well. But that is that. Game 1 is done. Second series for the night, gents, is we're going to be moving to the prospect tier. We're having every tier represented tonight, but not necessarily in order. We're elite, prospect, rival, and then master. So if we have a look at our schedule, we'll see where we are and who's going to be facing who. Unity not done for the night. They are going to be up once again, this time against, help me out here, gents, who they're playing.
OG.
I believe it's Omnius.
Yeah, it's OG.
Omnius. Okay. So so Tristan, you were talking about Omnius earlier. You're a former part of the enclave of Omnius, and they've been struggling. And in a moment we're going to have a look at the table in Prospect. Overall, Omnius having a bit of a struggly season. Unity traditionally kind of struggle, but whatever the cause, whatever the situation, these are important games. So your early thoughts here. We see Unity all the way at the bottom. Actually, Omnius doing quite well, Tristan. 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually incredibly well on the leaderboard. Just 2 off from the automatic playoffs. Look, obviously, it's a fight to try and get up to that 16 wins there of the Death Cloud team. But still incredibly high up. Josie Jazz, though, are going to have a bit of a fight on their hands here. 5 wins on their names compared to 11. I know I've got my money on it. It's not a biased money placement. I think it's just from statistics that I can see.
Now, Borky, Unity had their first win here last week. They've been struggling, but they at least got out a dub, but in desperate need of another. Lots of draws, but or is that losses? How does that work? Is it? I'm not sure the 3 there. Is it 1 win, 1 loss, 3 draws?
Ooh,
actually, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Either way, we know it's not wins.
It's definitely not wins. I mean, Unity's sitting there at the 10th spot. And of course, who other than Ox that's just sitting slightly above them. So, I mean, it is quite late here in the season. Unity, you really do just need to win out if you have hopes of making it into playoff contentions, and especially usurping Ox there for the number 9 spot at the very least. So I think that's going to start here against Omnius, but this Omnius team has been looking very solid and look like they're just continuously improving as the season has gone on.
All right, well, Borky and Tristan, I'm going to leave the action to you to bring us the second of our 4 series tonight. Unity looking for a bit of action, a little bit of redemption, and Omnius Rise would like to rise further.
Thank you once again, Graybeard. We do have a great matchup in stakes here for us. Unity, we saw them a bit earlier. Maybe their Prospect brethren are going to hope to maybe get a little bit revenge for their elite team, or at least put up a bit of a couple more W's than we saw there. Again, it is very needed here for Unity in Prospect, and for Omnius, I believe they are making their way pretty notably up the standings, so they're going to continue to hope that trend moving forward, so they're in a lot better position once we do get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we saw there Omnius was 4 positions up on that championship standings, and we're only on week 6 now. It obviously goes up to week 9, so if Omnius can keep this up on the Prospect League with the current shape that they've been at for the time being, for example, if they win all 4 games tonight, that is some incredible boost of A, motivation, and B, championship standing points to push them further up towards that playoffs automatic push for the first and second places. But for Unity, it would be the same for them. You know, if they got all 4 wins yet tonight, that would be a great boost for them, as you saw at the bottom of the table right now in 10th. Just with 5 wins to the name. If they can get these 4 wins yet tonight, that's a great boost up on that standings board.
Now, I know this isn't going to be biasy from me because Unity caster, but I find it very hard that Unity is going to get a perfect sweep here. I believe Omnius is going to put up a very strong fight, but if Unity come out surprises me, they get the perfect sweep, they win the 4, well, they'll catapult themselves up from 10th and take over 9th from Ox, and that'd be some good revenge, because considering Ox did just best them in Elite and take their spot. So we'll have to see which way the coin lands, as it is game number 1. Unity, Omnius. Who's going to come out on top here? It is Prospect, and that's my favorite standing because it's the most entertaining.
I gotta tell you as well, I mean, Prospect Division is also my favorite, just not even because these players are bad. I mean, the players know exactly what they're doing, but there's a lot more space for unknowingness of the game and just letting the game play out at any state that it would like to. And we see it with the Prospect games that things can go anyway, which is why I put the idea on the board of Unity potentially getting a clean sweep here, Omnius potentially getting a clean sweep here, or just neither of the two happening, and just it's a mix and match of wins, because anything can happen in our Prospect series, as we already see Omnius on the defensive. 2 misses there, unfortunately, from Unity, and Omnius trying to turn it around now. Luke's B with a, if you know Rocket League, one of the most annoying boost noises if you have him as a teammate, but trying to get that ball up and closer to the goal. We'll have to see what they can do here.
This first minute into the game, it really feels like it just has been all Unity, putting on a really good starting performance here. Omnius yet to produce anything. We'll see Ghost pushing us forward here. Gets it around 2 into the middle. Pixel Glitch was waiting for that one. And I feel like Pixel Glitch, that's going to be a name we call on quite a bit here tonight from the performances we've seen both on stream and for him across the board for Omnius. But right now, here comes Unity. Here comes a bump. And it's a beautiful bailout there from Omnius.
Yeah, that was a great save from one of the Omnius players. They're completely denying the attack because that looked flicky and just not enough to stop Zero as he sends it into the back of the net. That's 1 up now for Omnius Gaming going into game number 1, and the pressure, sorry, for Unity, and the pressure is now on for Omnius Gaming because they're on the back burners now. They've got to make up here in the next 3 minutes. They've got a lot of time to do it, but from what we've seen already, like you mentioned, is that Omnius have been a little bit under contention. Yeah, Unity have shown some incredible possession so far in these past 2 minutes.
Well, Omnius will get some of their first looks of defense here. It's a bit short-lived, though, as the ball does find its way back to the center line. It's going to be a shot that comes on, forces Pixel Glitch to jump off, put a hand up for that one. This ball won't be able to make it too far onto the Unity side. Zero was waiting for that collect a full tank of boost, so he gets his cake and eats it too as he passes the ball over there to go. This one trying to find Zero. Will just sail a little bit too high. Omnius, though, once again, just, yes, you pushed it over here to the Unity side, but for how long? You're just going to be stuck right back on defense again.
Yep, back on defense it is indeed again for Omnius. They're getting good clears and managing to get the ball away from their net for a couple of seconds, but the issue is that they're not getting onto the ball to make it actionable into the back net of Unity, and so that just allows Unity to come back with a counter attack. And once again, we just see this loop of Omnius continuously in defense, trying to hold off from the Unity squad over here, as Ghost almost looked to have a dead shot over there from the back if that didn't get squabbled around. It's a shot though for Omnius Gaming. Frencher looked to get a shot on, but Luke's will receive it at his back end, hoping to try and get it a bit cleared over here. Oh, doesn't get the neatest clear. Thankfully, he's got a teammate behind just to get it out.
Zero collecting us there, trying to get it instantly downfield again, as Unity has done time to time. It will be done, and it is Zero who finds the open net, sinks that one away. Omnius a little bit too overzealous, trying to get offense alive here, and it ends up costing them.
Ends up costing them indeed, and now 2 goals down. Unity's got a nice cushion to sleep on for the time being, and Omnius has to sleep on the wood planks unless they can get some shots in for this game. But with 1.5 minutes left, they don't have much time to play with. Luke's gets it nice and centered. Nobody's there to receive it in time, and Unity managing to clear that off quite nicely. Frencher looks like he's a bit of an imposter right now. He's got a full blue and black car, which is literally the Unity colors, as he tries to fight it with the likes of Omnius, now with the likes of Ghost a little bit further behind. You can see everybody's just got a bit of bumping play, and we see it a lot in the Prospect, as space management is something that you don't really learn in your beginning play of Rocket League, but it does eventually come. But we can see with the Omnius crew, they are starting to bunch a little bit, and it might be the reason why they keep falling onto the defensive line.
Yeah, they're just not really taking advantage of the space that they're given on the pitch. It just seems like a little bit too cluttered on some of these attacks. You see Luke's there getting us a good way downfield, but it's Zero once again, just instantly shutting down Omnius's offensive opportunities. And for me, this is a bit of a surprising showing here for Unity. Yes, both of these rosters are very talented, but if we look at the standings, it feels like Omnius would be the favorites. And I guess you can just kind of say, with your back against the wall, you can never count a team out. Unity are in prime position to take this game away. They'll just kill down these remaining seconds here, and they'll take game number 1, and that does move them a little bit closer to reviving their season.
Indeed it does. It looks good, yeah, for the Josie Jazz team. They sit down in 10th position on the championship standings, but with that first game bagged, that's going to be a good carry for them, because we spoke about momentum in the previous series. They could potentially carry this over into the second game versus Omnius. But for the time being, Pixel Glitch will take MVP for this game, even though they didn't get a single goal. He had loads of saves from the Unity crew as they shot as many goals as possible. As you can see there, only one save from the Unity side, so just nothing being given. You can see the shots were only made by Frencher on the Omnius Gaming side, so just not enough there from Omnius to get themselves in a position where they can get some points on the board.
Yeah, and I really wish we could see the field domination percentage there for that game, because, I mean, it's got to be clearly skewed there in favor of Unity. Yes, Omnius, Frencha had 3 shots, but there wasn't really much quality behind those shots as much as they were quantity. And for Unity, what a great way to come out into this one. You know, definitely surprising me. Maybe looking to, you know, I said avenge their brethren over there in Elite. And if Unity can keep that up, they got their first win last week, and they're definitely on track right now to get their second.
Well, I mean, if they can pull all 4 here tonight, which we're not placing that in the universe of Rocket League commentator cursing. I mean, anything can happen over here. But if it does happen, like we mentioned earlier, is that it's a great boost for them in this standings. I mean, we're only 3 weeks left. After week 9, we head into playoffs. So this is it now. Unity need to pull up their socks in the next coming weeks if they want any chance at fighting in those playoffs. And Omnius obviously sitting a little bit higher. They also have to do something, because that first game, they could not get a single goal into the back of Unity's net. And that really has shown something, because Unity will now have that confidence built up. You know, they'll go into that second game now with the mindset of, okay, we're going to possibly win this one again and again and again. So Omnius on the back burners now going into game number 2.
Yeah, it really, I think, just boils down to one of my favorite phrases of Rocket League, which is winner's tilt, especially for a team like Omnius. You come into this one, you're the favorite, you're having a pretty impressive season here in the later run. So in your head, you think this team's sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. This is going to be an easy win for us. And you just kind of maybe not play to your full potential. And then you lose to Unity, and then in your head you're like, what's happening? We should have won this game, and now we're down. So you never know, that could be what ends up happening. But reason why we're yapping a little bit longer and you get to see and enjoy our beautiful faces is we're just getting a quick server restart, making sure the playing field is as favorable and fair as possible.
Yeah, and Borky, the good thing is that server restart wipes any commentators cursing that we've placed on them. So it's clean fighting over here now for these next 3 games. And so it's all going to come down, because like we already mentioned, Unity is going to carry the confidence in. Omnius is going to carry the comeback, that want for comeback into this game. And that's all that they're going to be thriving for over here, because 4th on that championship standings. It's not a lot of time left. Like I already mentioned, 3 weeks, you know, they've got to push it now in these final 3 games. And points are points, because this isn't a best of series, this is a standard series. So all 4 games will be played out regardless of who wins an X amount in a row. So they've got to try and get this back up, even if they can get 1 on the board. I mean, we saw it in the previous series with Ox obviously taking the three games, and I mean Unity only taking 1. That 1 game that they won is still 1 game that will be added as a win on the championship standing. So anything in the RSC it can literally be rendered as something that can be taken home. So for Omnius, they need to get at least something going in this prospect series.
Well, actually, as I look over at the standings here, I might have been spreading some misinformation. So, with that win, Unity now has 6 game wins. Ox is sitting at 7, but so is White Rabbit Gaming. So, if Unity manages to get 8, that's going to propel them up into potentially that 7th position, because right above them, it's Nightwalkers and Obscurity, then 8 wins. So, we'll have to see how it plays out. Right now, Unity are making a very good case for themselves. We should be getting this lobby back up shortly for you. So we'll get right back into the action. Here we are. Game number 2 underway. Unity strike first.
Unity strikes first, and oh, it's a mistake from Omnius, unfortunately, on the kickoff, and just read by Talod. It looks like we've had a bit of a roster switch up there for Unity. Talod coming in to replace one of the players. I think it's Ghost who's possibly been... No, Ghost is still there, so one of the other Unity players just being taken off pitch, and Talod coming in over here to get the game rolling on again. But Omnius losing out in the first 3 seconds of this game due to a bad kickoff read, and just a quick shot there on goal for Talod, and that's going to be a great lead for them. Already a cushion being generated.
Unity right back off to where we left off in that first game, being able to jump out to that early goal lead. And it's, again, this offense is continuing to build. That's a great shot there from Ghost, but an even better save, but you can't keep them out forever. Unity does break through yet again, and there's their
second shot already. Not sure if it's Talod or Taylor. It actually looks like Taylor. I didn't see the eye just now, but second shot on goal already for Taylor of Unity. And so good substitute coming in there for game number 2. It looks like it's doing them well, as Zero and Taylor looking to be playing pretty well together. Clear there from the Unity players, but now back on shot. Omnius thankfully giving a little bit of play towards the backside over here, but French just able to keep the goal away from their net. Zero will try and receive it on the backside, and now towards Taylor, and now potentially Ghost with the upcome, but Zero will try and follow it. It's a good recovery though from the Omnius boys as they try keep it in play. The shot for Ghost, it's been deflected and slightly right, just missing off from a 3-goal cushion being provided from Unity over here, and it's getting very pressurized for Omnius.
Getting dicey here on the side of Omnius, as Zero is just going to snipe once again. It's the way that he's able to generate power off of these shots and the angles he can create. Omnius caught sleeping there on the goal line, and that's the third that falls in. We're not even halfway through this game.
Third shot already from Unity, and like you mentioned, we're not even halfway. 2.5 minutes will be our halfway mark. We're just over a minute away from that, and Unity showing their dominance over here tonight, and we're just racking in goal after goal. We might be seeing an over 6 goals over here, depending on how things go, because for the time being, Omnius are just bunching together in the back corners over here, trying to keep the ball out of the net. It's a bad read there from Frencher, and thankfully one of the Omnius members at the back line to get that ball cleared, but Omnius just not having good communication right now. They look like they're scrambling.
Seems like every time they get a little bit of fresh air, they're instantly taken out. Taylor getting a really good bump there. It won't set up too much, but Omnius, they just instantly fizzle out. This one towards the back ball, going to Waterfall down, but it is Unity that ends up getting the read before Pixel Glitch can sink that one away. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Omnius scored in that first game either. So right now, it's been about 7 or so minutes since they've gotten a goal.
Well, yeah, no, Omnius didn't score in the first series either. It was a 2-0 loss in game number 1, and now 3-0 already, and we only just crossed our half-time border. So Unity really showing the dominance here tonight so far. And like I spoke about the half-time thing, is that it's already coming to the half-time here of the series in game number 2, and Unity are already, if you calculated 2 goals from the first, they're 5 goals in, totaling of the series 5-0 across the board, and still a couple of shots that can be played throughout the rest of this game with just 2 minutes left to go. Can Omnius do something? But it's a defensive again, and Unity just looking so aggressive for another goal lineup.
They've just definitely knocking at the door there time and time again, find themselves right in front of that goal line. This one here from Frencha will set up an opportunity, but again, just not a lot of substance behind any of these looks. It feels like you're getting some, but there's no quality behind it. This one sits in front of net for forever, eventually goes no boost, does get the touch out. We'll get a follow-up here. Taylor here in the midfield gets some possession, pops this one downfield, opts to just allow Unity to get back into offense, and they can begin their suffocation again.
Yeah, they seem to be good at the suffocation. I mean, like you said, as soon as Omnius has any form... Oh, there we go. Finally, Omnius getting a goal on the board there from Frencha. So at least something to show for. But like we were saying, Unity, as soon as Omnius gets any form of clean air, just to think about what they want to do, they're already being swarmed by Zero or Ghost or Taylor to try and make a decision as fast as possible, because the Unity boys are so highly pressured here tonight to get these goals going on. And now Frencha, as you can see, carrying a bit more confidence after that first goal, trying to get it passed on towards his teammate of Pixel Glitch, a little bit further behind though. As you can see, everybody trying to just hold on to their horses over here. Frencha will find a good clear though, and it's going to be a chase down from Luke Speed. Can it be a pass though towards the midfield? It's been a good clear though once again from Unity. That's the thing, is that Unity's got good defense and good offense. It's exactly what you need to win a prospect match like this.
Yeah, no, you just have to admire how much Unity is trying to turn their season around right now. They have full potential with a sweep here to be able to accelerate themselves up the rankings. And with time running out on the season, that's exactly what you need to do. And what a better team to dethrone than Omnius, who are sitting up there in that 4th position. So it's a bit, I would say, confusing here in certain aspects, but it just seems like Omnius haven't shown up, or at least the team that we've seen here before on stream. The clock hits 0. The ball will float in front of net for a little bit. Pixel Glitch keeps it out, so not another one allowed for Unity, but it's too little too late. Unity now have 2, and they sit in a very strong position.
Yeah, so once again, it's an odd one to read though, because Frencha gets MVP again from Omnius' side with 4 saves, 2 shots on the goal, and then obviously 1 goal that he actually scored for Omnius. And then pretty averaged out scores for the Unity players from 250 to 350 around about, with Taylor just bringing up to 380. So it's very odd to see it, because Unity have they look like they've got a bit better team play compared to Omnius over here, and you can see it by Frencha having so many points, Luke Speed just not having that much, and you can see who's carrying and who's just dragging the team a little bit here in the Prospects League. And it's an unfortunate thing to see in team plays, that you always have to keep in mind that teamwork is the dream work, especially in a game like Rocket League. And when we saw it in our Elite series, is that the plays were being made by one person and then scored by another. And that's the thing, is that you need to keep that team synergy alive in order to win these games.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, but it feels like Unity is the underdog in this game here. I mean, if we look at Twitch chat, the prediction, 83% of that is in favor of Omnia's rise here. So for Unity to come out and take 2 games off of Omnius, that's very impressive. They do find themselves in position to be able to not only continue up the rankings, but to get another win in this series as well. All they have to do is get 1 more game win.
Yep, 1 more game win and they technically win the best of series. Obviously, we'll still play the 4th as the normal series plays out, and so Omnius can get some points on the board. But once again, I mean, Boast he practically didn't even do anything there. He tapped the ball once all the way at the back over here, and nobody there to save it. We had one from Omnius leaping up into the sky trying to get the defense in. It's just not enough though, and Unity gets an easy goal to get that first goal on, and the cushion once again for them. They have that breathing room, and it just allows for a way more comfortable play there from the blue squad.
I mean, there hasn't been a lot of time where Unity wasn't leading in this series. It's usually the first 10 to 15 seconds off of the opening kickoff, and then they get an early goal so instant, and from there they just kind of play around with it, let that lead expand, and just play some very stellar defense. Again, it's Unity here on the offensive. Why wouldn't they beat Frencha? Will got some breathing room, but it's Zero that just instantly forces them right back in. This one in front of Ned. Zero's trying to get it on. Ghost follow up there, but Frencha, again, seeing to be the catalyst here for Omnius, trying to will them back into the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking slightly gloomy a little bit right now for the Omnia squad, and they need to get something on the board here if they want that confidence boost to keep on going into the fourth game, to get at least something on the board here in that championship standings. Because like we mentioned, if Unity gets a clean sweep here tonight, they gain a number of positions on that championship standings. I mean, that's 4 wins here, and I mean, that's a lot. And already, there we go, Taylor takes the second one here for Unity, further extending that gap and that comfortable, you know, the little bit of the comfortable lean angle that they now get against Omnius. They can take it a little bit more relaxed, they can play more defensive. They just need to hold on now for 3 minutes and have another win on their hands.
That's gotta hurt there for Omnius. That wasn't even Taylor that put away that final blow. It was just a bit of a breakdown there on the defense, and Unity do come away with it. What a shot there that turned out to be. It would hit off of the post and the crossbar before finding its way out. So Omnius a micro win. It does come in front of net, but still not a shot being recorded just yet here for Omnius.
Oh, and again, like, Pixel Glitch just made a second tap over there, but he had a teammate ready to receive that ball and possibly take a shot at it, and just not enough. And Ghost again reads the play, and into the right side of the goal he goes, and tailored with a very neat fake over there, completely baited out the Omnius player, and Ghost just gets the read. Luke a little bit too deep inside of that goal, allows for a shot to be taken, and so now already 3 goals up for Unity in this game. They've currently been dominating the series if you just joined in onto the stream right now. Game 3 of 4 games, and Unity already 3 goals up.
Unity looking for their second series win, and they're making such a strong argument here for why they deserve to be higher than that 10th spot on the rankings. They want to show that this season is far from over. Yes, we're week 6, but they have plenty of life still left in them. Finally, though, Omnius is going to get a good stint of offense here, trying to get this one into the midfield. Pixel Glitch was hot behind the trail there, but it is just, I mean, again, Omnius, they do get offense, but there's not much behind it. And I don't want to keep bringing that up, but it feels like they need to change something. It's very rinse and repeat, and Ghost is just going to punish time and time again.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see a pattern with them, is that when they go defensive, they've got 3 in the goal, and then as soon as they get the ball slightly up, all 3 completely disappear from their defensive line. And so one break on the defensive line from Unity, which we've seen 4 times already here tonight, and it's a quick, swift goal for them to get into the back of the net. So super unfortunate so far for Omnius to pull up their stride. And like you say, it's not even a case of just trying to beat them down constantly. It's just, unfortunately, the fact of the game is that sitting so high on the leaderboard, and the underdogs are coming from literally the bottom of the standings right now, and they are dominating so far in this 4-match series. Game 3 already, and there's the 5th. I mean, my goodness, Borky, these guys are on a rampage.
Unity just absolutely running away with not only this game, but the series. Omnius have only recorded 1 goal, and it was a little bit of an own goal there on the side of Unity as well. So I guess in technicality, you could say that it was Unity that scored every goal here in this game. It does get recorded on the Omnius column, but I want to see Omnius getting physical, picking up pace, picking up tempo, really make Unity uncomfortable, because right now they've just been the ones controlling. Luke sends that one back. Stop for a moment, thinking maybe it might have been an own goal. It's going to be a turn of pace, though. Frencha hasn't given up on the play, but it's going to be a foot race here to the corner between Zero and Luke. Luke does get the better of that one. Zero, though, gets this over to Ghost, but Ghost can't get another shot opportunity there for Unity.
I think Luke's was getting ready to receive an earful of comms abuse in his ears from his teammates if he let that one slide. That was, you saw even he paused on the pitch. It was like a oh no moment as it just started going closer to the goal. But oh, there we go. Luke's turns it around. That's the second goal of the series for Omnius, at least getting one in. And how did this goal plan out? Okay, definitely not an own goal this time from Unity. So all Luke's work, nobody there from the Unity side to stop that one from going in. But again, there was no team play in that one. Luke's did all that by himself. And that's the difference we're seeing in the two squads right now, is that Unity are planning their plays over here, whereas the likes of Omnius are just trying to get those shots in from wherever they can.
Yeah, and it just feels like it's a bit more desperation on the side of Omnius. I mean, this game is all said and done. They do record another goal. That's good for your stat line at the end of the day, but it's not going to do you any favors here. You do score the last one, though, so maybe a bit of confidence that you can bring with you into game number 4, because very similar to that first matchup that we got to watch here, we did see Unity drop the first 3, but they won the 4th, and every game does matter. So for Omnius, gonna have to hope for a bit of revival, but it is Unity securing their second series win in a very, very commanding fashion.
Yeah, I mean, the complete domination there from Unity. I mean, Taylor and Ghost practically taking a tied MVP over there in terms of score, and just nothing, unfortunately, from the Omnius side. Nobody breaking into the 300s, and Pixel Glitch and Luke's just sitting under 200 as well. So unfortunately, a whole lot of zeros on the Omnius scoreboard, just not enough. Thankfully, like we did mention, they got one goal in, and so it'll do good for their scorecard, but it's not going to do good in the perspective of the game score, because Unity still took that one by storm. It was 5-1 there for Unity, and this is now a very high possibility for a clean sweep here from the underdogs.
Yeah, if they keep that up, they score early first, and then I feel like a lot of it, what it might have to be is Unity scores so early and they have that lead, and it feels like some of those plays that Omnius makes is a bit of the pressure of you're behind. You feel like you need to step up. You got to get that goal back. And then it's just a little bit of overcommittal, going too fast maybe, and it just sets you up in an awkward position. So if Omnius can come out here, score first, and then just kind of set their feet, get themselves settled, it could be a completely different game. They do get possession off the kickoff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They did get the kickoff a little bit better this time. It didn't get shot straight into their net, and instead it went all the way to the backside of Unity. So they've got that at least. Oh, getting a little bit touchy there in Zero. Very close from getting the first goal in there, but good defense from the Omnius boys to keep the ball going on. And now it's a good attack from Omnius. It's up in the sky and nobody's there to receive. Good deflect from the Unity drivers, as now Ghost just gets a neat tap in, and already Unity, with just about 40 seconds into this game, will take the first score of the final game of the series.
And I really appreciate this here for Unity as well, with just how much they're rotating this roster around. We saw Bart start off the first game. We saw Taylor come in for the second and third, and now it's Bart making his return here for the fourth. And I feel like if you do have like that good fourth or a good substitute, you can really kind of rotate your offense around, and it makes your team a bit more unpredictable. Because yeah, you had 2 games where you were figuring out the play style of Taylor. Well, you throw Bart right back in, and you have to remember, what did he do in game 1?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. And oh, Pixel Glitch comes up with the equalizer. This is some good stuff from Omnius, and that's a good running so far coming into the final game. But like you mentioned, that is actually a really good point, is having that really good fourth player, and it really can change how the game plays, because if you're versing a super defensive team, it could be beneficial to sub on one of your really aggressive players who can get a shot in no matter what, and vice versa. I mean, if you're versing a very aggressive team, rather get a saving champion onto your pitch and get him playing for you. And so that's a good switch around we've seen with Bart and Taylor, and we saw how aggressive Taylor was. I think Bart playing a slightly more relaxed approach here in this game, a little bit more defense from his side, as Zero now trying to receive that from the clear of Omnius. It's 1-1 though. It's completely plateaued at this point with 3 minutes left. This final fourth game has gone slightly faster with less goals being shot.
Yeah, the pace has really been picked up here for Omnius. We are seeing them here on the attack. We'll have to see if Bart can bail us out. It will fall into the hood of Zero. He puts this one towards net, but it is short-lived. Luke flips the pitch here. Follow-up from French. Shot does go on. Hangs off of the post. The gong of failure ricochets throughout the pitch. You hate to hear that one, but it is only 1-1 here. This is the closest game we've had so far this series.
Yeah, closest game we've had in terms of actual score. I mean, coming down to our 2.5 minute mark, which is the halfway here of this final game, and it's 1-1. I mean, from what we've seen in the previous 3 matches is that Unity always carries a lead going into the final half of this match, but this time vice versa. Omnius will take the lead, just breaking 2 seconds under the halfway mark. And so could we potentially see an exact identical pattern to what we saw in the first series of tonight, except flipping teams? So instead of Unity only getting 1, they're taking 3. Could Omnius get the final game here of tonight?
Definitely making a strong argument for it. Frencha has to beat out Zero to that. Ball won't be able to. Instead, it's a stalemate there in the midfield. Pixel Glitch will be happy to just collect this one with some boost. Now off the left-hand side wall here, trying to maybe find Luke's there in the midfield. Instead, the touch doesn't exactly fall through, and it sets up Zero here in a 1v1. Instead, it will be Frencha that gets the better of that one. He does get us downfield as well, and Omnius, they find their third and a bit of life that we might not have expected.
And why couldn't we have seen this at like the second or third match from Omnius? I mean, now they're starting to play like the 4th team in the championship standings here. Pixel Glitch just showing what he's worth here, and 3 up already for Omnius. Well, 3 goals in, 2 up from Unity. This is some incredible work here from Omnius, and they really have changed things up a bit. You can see they're spacing a bit better. They're starting to pass the ball a bit better as well, and just choosing who should actually take certain shots instead of all 3 just trying to, you know, to make something happen. It's instead actually being planned out, which is great to see from the green squad.
You have to really admire that. I mean, the switch up did come a bit too late. It is Unity that took the series, but a very good showing here. But wait a minute, Unity, they're not done fighting just yet. They want that perfect sweep, because if they secure it, that means a complete change in the standings of Prospect. So with only 1 goal separating us here, a minute 26 to decide it, Unity put themselves in a better position.
Let's see what Unity can do now. They're already back on the attack, but it's a good clear there from the likes of Luke's, just holding off on the goal there for Omnius. So it's a bit of a bump there. It's team-to-team bumping from Ghost as he can see something that his teammate can't. Tries to get the ball on target to get a shot on goal over there. Basically, Bart trying to ramp it around the entire arena for the time being. Zero trying to receive as well. Manages to get the ball blocked off from getting another goal for Omnius. And like you mentioned, 50 seconds left. Can Unity get a 3rd goal in, take it to overtime, and get a clean sweep in this series?
Right now, they do have to play some stellar defense, because it's Frencha who sets that up to the backboard, makes 2 misses there on the goal line, and just served directly right back onto his lap. Will get Omnius's 4th goal here in this game. And keep in mind, Omnius only scored, what was it, 2 goals up into this point, and now they have 4 here in game 4.
Yeah, this is some incredible change of play. Oh, there we go. There's a 5th even for you. And a complete changing of what we saw in the first 3 games compared to what we saw with Unity versus Omnius. I mean, Unity wiped, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to see the clean sweep that we were not hoping for, what we were statistically predicting for Unity from those first 3 games, as Omnius just finding that confidence. And I think it might have been from getting that final goal in game number 3. They've just been carrying that. And I mean, the likes of Frencha has been so observing of where the ball lands and where the ball can be to get a couple of shots in for the green team.
It just seems like as these final 15 run away, Omnius will be happy that they do get a game win, so will be hopefully able to hold on to their current positioning, maybe get themselves 1 game closer to that 3rd place team there. But this one will touch the ground. All is said and done. Unity win 3-1 in the series, but it is a good response there from Omnius in the final game, and it's a very similar trend to that first game we got to watch on stream here earlier.
Yeah, I mean, almost 600 points for Pixel Glitch. I mean, 6 shots on goal for him. That is some incredible work. And they definitely changed something up over there in the Omnius squad. They had so much more spacing, they had so much more confidence in their play. And it really did just work out for them tonight to at least get one game on the board. And so they're not going to be completely disheartened from tonight. They ended it off really strong as well. It wasn't like a 3-2 situation. This was a 2-5. So they really did change things for the good. And just not enough, though, to get at least two games of the series on the board.
Well, gentlemen, I'm just looking at the table here, and Josie Jazz rebuilt their roster. So Unity rebuilt their roster a few weeks ago, and it's paying dividends for them. They had their first victory in week 5, and now looking good. And looking at the table with this victory, they are. No, we'll get the understanding. So Unity have jumped up from 5 wins to 8, which puts them on par with 6th place. So that's a huge turnout for them. So well done to Unity for that. But Tristan, Omnius, they at least get 1. So that puts them, while it sort of keeps them there or thereabouts, locked in 3rd, 4th place as it stands now.
That final game was played like a 4th standings team. I mean, look, they really had a bit of a struggle there in those first 3 games of the series. Unity were just showing the absolute pace around that entire arena. I mean, multiple goals. And I mean, before the final series, Omnius had 2 total goals to their name through the entire series, and then just bringing the random 5-goal absolute domination in the final one. And if only they played like that throughout the entire series, they could have really had a chance to push themselves towards that playoff cutoff for 1st and 2nd, but just not enough yet tonight. Thankfully, they've still got a couple of weeks, though, to play it out.
The first 2 minutes of the first game, Borky, it looked to me, there was a lot of flipping and flopping. It looked like both teams were a little bit unsettled. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is not going to be good for Unity. But you look up again and suddenly they were 2 goals ahead, looking strong, and they looked really good. But they did need a bit of a running start in that game 1.
Yeah, it did take them a little bit to get going, but once they did, I sounded like a broken record the amount of times I was just repeating who was scoring there for Unity, and it really felt like Omnius came into that game unprepared in a sense, because they were floundering a bit too, and they didn't really stop floundering until game 4.
They needed a much longer runway. So so there we go, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your service tonight, Tristan, Borky, bringing us the first 2 series of week 6. We now have a rival game and a master game to bring, and there you go. We're halfway through the night. Elite and Prospect done. Next up is going to be rival, and followed by master. And a reminder of our sponsors: Genesis Extreme, Nearstream, Slayer. I do believe that the Slayer GG's Gamer Serum is still available on pre-order, so that prize pool can get a little bit bigger. Currently 17,650 ZA RONT. So once again, thank you to our sponsors. And we are halfway through the week 6 stream, with just week 7, 8, and 9 to go, and then we have playoffs. If you haven't diarized the playoffs, it is the first week of November, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday. We'll be kicking things off on the Monday with the Prospect playoffs, and then Tuesday, obviously, Rival, then Elite, and then finally on the Thursday, the Master tier. So that'll be bang, 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 4 days in a row. All the teams still battling it out to make it into the top 2. And just as a reminder, how it works is the top 2 in every tier automatically go through to the playoff semifinals, and then places 3, 4, 5, and 6 will have a little bit of a play-in to see. They will battle it out to see who takes the last 2 remaining semi-final berths. So, of course, you want to finish in the top 2, which guarantees you a semi-final in playoffs, but still, there is up to 6th place that it is worth fighting for. So all of these mid to lower tier series that are coming up in the final weeks count a lot. They are really, really important. So worth fighting for. Every game, win and loss means something from here on out. So with 2 series out of the way, we have 2 more to bring you. Borky and Tristan have done their duty on the opening 2 series, and then for the closing 2 series are Rhino and the Bromeo. And Bromeo, I thought it prudent not to put you on another Ox Unity broadcast, in particular in the prospect tier. We kept you well away from that action.
No, I got to watch it, a little bit from the sideline, and it hurt my feelings a lot to see them succeed so well. Getting dropped is one thing, seeing them move on so well without you is another thing indeed. So Greybeard, you have my thanks, but GG's to Unity in that last game. They played really well.
And Rhino, we got you back. You're back on the RSC SSA broadcast. Welcome.
Come on. It's about time that I was on this side of the desk, wasn't it? It's good to be back casting for the wonderful region of SSA. And it's good to also, obviously, for the first time this season for me, my personal self, see Greybeard back where he belongs. So, yeah, we've got we've got some great matches to end the stream today. Super, super hyped, super excited to be casting for the first time this season.
So RSC, I beg your pardon, rival tier is what you guys are going to be doing first. So if we look at the state of play as things stand right now, it is Unity struggling in Prospect, but goodness gracious me, over in Rival, they are at the top with Cosmico, and as it stands, well, I was going to say a comfortable lead, 3 games ahead, but Cosmico have 4 games in hand, Bromeo.
They do indeed. So this is a pivotal game. Should Celestial take it tonight, they will find their way to the top of the pops, to the top of the table, and the beleaguered Nightshade is their opponent tonight, so they'll be fancying their chances.
So, Rhino, is it going to be a case of, the underdog is going to have to shine here because they're going to be facing a very, very hungry Cosmico side.
They are, and that is part of the problem right now for this Azura team, is that obviously not a single series win on the season. 2 draws means that they have been putting up fights in those matches. They've just not been seeing it over the line. So tonight I want to see a really good game between these 2 sides. But I think Bromeo's right, and yourself, Greybeard, as well, that Cosmico are coming in with a lot of the momentum, and they've also got that goal in mind of taking that top spot.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I'll leave it to you to bring the hype. And, in an ideal world, you're sort of, it's a battle between 2nd and 3rd place, but still a lot to play for. It is not out of the bounds of reality that if AZG make a late run, they still find themselves in 6th place.
Well, they call RSC the Crucible of Dreams, Rhino. They don't actually call it that. I just made it up, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. Celestial having only registered 1 loss this entire season against AZG, who've picked up 2 draws, 3 losses. It's not looking great for them, but they have Simao, who is Raids, in one of the admins behind the scenes, heading up this AZG side, and he's been very excited. He's keen for it, and he told us not to be too harsh on him. So Rhino, how harsh are we going to be?
As harsh as we can be, Bromeo. We are going to pick out every single minute misrotation, every mistouch, every misplay coming through from Simao, and I'm sure that he will do the same to us when we're next on a cast with him and a production with him. But that's beside the point, Bromeo. We live in the here and now. We live in the present. And yeah, unfortunately, as soon as you ask people not to go too hard on you for a night, yeah, that is a bit of a death sentence. So we'll see how he performs.
Well, will AZG get that buff tonight, or are Cosmico going to continue riding Supreme? Papito captaining the side. Will we see him in action tonight? We will find out right here, right now.
Oh, yes, it's your third game of the evening, RSC SSA Season 4. We're in rival tier. It's Cosmico versus Azura Gaming, and Azura coming in as the underdogs, trying to get something going there as Jackals bring this one through. It's a bit of a weird double touch off the backboard. Nice angle found from Flashy, but it's not enough to break down Azura just yet.
Well, Panda on the counter here. Raids trying to get the bump early. Dodging it is Flashy Boy. And he's going to get a run against the goal. He gets it in. And Cosmico pick up their first goal.
I don't think he did. Here's Flashy. It comes off the post. And that's going to be going down as an own goal right there. Azura are the masters of their own downfall early inside the first 30 seconds. Cosmico looking to continue that run as we mentioned earlier, and they're going to try and do so here with Papito going over the top. Beats two, can't beat Raids on the goal line.
Cosmico in their home kit, because both are very purple. Peppering the line now. Forced Raids playing in his own name, not Samao, as he's registered on the website. We get to call him by his name, by his elect name today. So if he misses, just know that it's him, but he's not missing there, but saved away by Papatino.
Certainly was, but there's still danger. Panda's going to try and get this one through, still cleared away. Dunn comes through, but it's not going to work out this time for Azura. That's the best chance they're going to have so far in this game, and they don't make it work. Picked up by Panda on his own backline, getting through a couple of tackles, but Jackals able to win it through off the top corner. Raids to take it away, but it's a heavy touch. There's the first one, Raids. We're counting, buddy.
We're counting them indeed as Panda tries to get it out. Raids with the clear, but ineffective as Papatino tries to get the redirect in the midfield. It's brave, but Azura been defending so hard for so long. Found very little respite as Raids now plays it down the center, but Papatino, pre-jumping from 2 years away, reads it just fine, bumping across. Panda being so aggressive, and they will have to be. Cosmico still one up, 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, but Azura are showing a very, very good look here, and this is another opportunity for Panda. Snipes the top corner! And Azura Gaming, the bottom side, in rival, back level against second.
Are you saying bottom on top right now? Top bins, indeed. And Azura picks up the equalizer. This is what we needed to see from Azura. They needed to hit. They needed to hit hard. And they don't need to concede one here now as a demo comes in there. I can't see who got demoed there, but they are on attack. And that's the most important thing right now.
It certainly is. And that will give them confidence. They will start moving forwards now with more pep in their step. They've already proven they can break down this Cosmico defensive line. Clearance away, back in by Dune. It will be picked up by Panda. Ball into the middle. Who's going to be there? Raids is waiting. The bump is good. There's no one to follow through. And as I understand it, it's Peekles in the middle. Yeah, of course.
I'm pretty sure you're getting trolled. You're getting trolled.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting trolled as well. Yeah, he's not peeking right now. Maybe later we use that in the series, but for now, he does stick with Jackals. But when he gets that 0-second winner and keeps it in the air, we do officially change his name, Bromy.
He will be Peekles then if they pick it up.
Yeah.
For now, he's just Pickles. So, Jackals, playing it down off their own line. Divine trying to get the shot in, hits it up against the crossbar, doesn't find a teammate. Raids now taking the straight shot, forces the double commit. Where is the second man to capitalize? The attack continues, but a little bit of respite for Cosmico as they are not out of dodge yet. Raids not getting the touch. Papatino trying to flick twice, gets demoed for his efforts, but Panda and can't get that one through. The attack is almost done there, but they are laying absolute siege to this Cosmico line.
Yeah, they certainly are, but Cosmico clear that line. Jackal's now trying to move into the middle. No, not going to happen. Papatinho gets bumped away. Panda into the middle, but Dune doesn't have any boost to work with. Pepito goes over the top. The ball doesn't drop in time. Raids gets a good challenge. Ball kind of fades away on the Cosmico goal line with 50 seconds remaining. Cosmico have been really tested in this game one, and that one almost goes over the line. Azura still searching for that goal that would give them the lead. Hang on a minute, there's a break on backboard looking for a double. There's no one in net. That has to go in. It's over the bar, and Azura survive.
Azura very lucky to get out of that one. It seemed almost certain, but Divine trying to pass one through here to Raids. Last man back. Papatinho aggressive though. Doesn't get the touch. It's Raids on the counter. Can he get this one in? Yuckles puts it wide. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, we are looking at the very real possibility of a game one overtime.
Certainly are. Here comes Raids though, trying to lay waste to that. It's a great shot. Pepito does enough to clear the ball away, and maybe does enough to take his team to OT. Although there is one final chance. Panda goes by. Yackles clears away. Pepito will keep it up. It's a 2-on-1 attack. Yackles takes it away from him. Double touch not found. And it will be OT in game one.
Well, the scores are 1-1, and it is a game one OT. Shot's going to go wide there. Divine, a little bit uncomfortable here. Hands it off to Papatinho, and into the corner he goes. Raids now. Doesn't have the boost, had the possession, gives it up to Divine. Divine's going to shoot it through, hits the crossbar. Can he make it in? It goes wide, and Cosmico survive for now.
They do for the moment. Backboard, chance for Raids. Doesn't find the double, but he's found the pass! And Panda converts! The side without a series win this season. Get the lead in the series on the team currently in second place, and Bromeo. We were building this game up a little bit that it could only really go one way. Rocket League has a way of surprising us, doesn't it?
It really, really does. And you got to feel for this AZG side. They are languishing in 10th. And now they are giving us a little bit of reason to believe that they can pick this one up and take it. Flying Panda getting the MVP for this game with his brace of goals. 50% conversion with his 4 shots, but have a look at those demos. 5-0.
5-0, and that is maybe the cause of what happened in this game. Azura was so aggressive, so forward-thinking, that Cosmico just couldn't really deal with them. And I'm just looking at the rosters now, and it does seem to me that obviously Simao or Raids coming into Azura, he's actually the highest rated player on that whole team. And he was telling us earlier that this is only the second game he's been able to play all season. So Azura Gaming have basically been playing with their B roster for, you know, a lot of this season. All of a sudden, he's come in, he's made a world of difference. They've taken down the current second position. And Bromeo, as you say, I do think it does come back to that ability of them to get in the face of Cosmico. Those demos, as you mentioned, so important. And they're going to hope to find a few more in game 2.
Well, let's hope they do. This game number 2 is going to be pivotal for Cosmico. They will want to bounce back. Flashy Boy picking up the only goal for Cosmico. He was the savior last weekend at the RSC LAN, but this time, different team, different teammates, and they're going to pick it up now. So, without further ado, and we're having a look here as wild things are happening. We're hoping that producer is okay. Here we go. It is time. Production is just fine. And Cosmico win the kickoff.
They do, but Azura can get on it on ball a little bit. It does go backwards. Panda, big interception high in the sky. That one's going to need Divine to get up to it, and does. Papatinho looking to keep the pressure on, and that is something that Cosmico are going to want to improve on in this game too. They didn't have all that much pressure on the Azura net at the start of game 2, though. That is all they have. They've already taken a few dangerous shots.
Counted on 2 shots. Direct out goal right there as Panda tries to get it out, but right now Azura forced onto the defense for the early part of this game, and it's an apt response for Cosmico as Yuckles passes it down. It's going to hit the crossbar. Can the third man take the shot? Flashy Boy takes it in, but the defense rallies just in time. Divine missing the clear out, but Panda turning on the ball. They're not out of dodge yet. Papatino can't get it in, and Panda now getting a little bit of respite to AZG as he flicks the pass in here. It is cleared though.
Just pinching the wrong side of the ball there, Pepito. Doesn't get the connection that he was looking for. So Azura survive again, and we said that a few times in game one. Panda down the right-hand side, gonna leave it for Raids. Not a lot of boost to work with, enough to get a little bit of a ground pinch and a pass into Panda. We've seen this story before. Azura Gaming score off the back of a Raids pass to a Panda goal for the second time this series.
Cosmico are getting raided. Here we go, right here. Azura picking up the opener and looking firmly in control, as they will be happy to take the lead in this game number 2, because the psychological advantage of it is just great enough. So Divine taking the early foray back into the Cosmico half, forcing Raids onto the fence though. But he's got a bit of boost. He's in the midfield. He's air dribbling. Can he get the double? Almost. Not quite there. Shot goes wide. And Cosmico escaped that little bit of danger.
Yeah, and they might turn it into some danger of their own. A lovely pass in field to the captain. The Raids gets up right in his face to prevent the ball getting by. Now out of the corner. It's going to come in again for Cosmico, but cleared away actually by one of the Cosmico players. Pepito gets up first. Raids splits the uprights through the two players, gets a demo as well. That's so aggressive from the Portuguese, but it's not enough.
From the Portuguese German man.
Yeah, Portuguese, European, German.
It doesn't
he chooses
matter.
based on the day.
His only region is destruction right now, as Panda has it away, gets it out there, very calm and collected, tries to beat Yuckles, lets Divine do it instead, but Papatino, so good off the backboard, gets it out, straight back into the midfield. They're going to want to make something happen here as Yuckles and Flashy Boy overcommit. They're possibly foiling the attack here. Papatino makes that save.
Yeah, he does, and he sparks a counter-attack as well. Pepito down the left-hand side, looking for maybe a bump play. That's going to be a pass into Flashy Boy. And Cosmico get that goal back after a beautiful pass in field from Pepito. Scared the living daylights out of the Azura defense. Made them scatter to the winds. Left an empty net for Cosmico. 1-0. 1-1.
1-1. Panda wasn't having none of it. Let's see if he has it now. Very good read off the wall from Flashy Boy, but collected there by Raids. Turns, passes, bang out. Yuckles to the air though. Can he make it count? Panda with the 50 in the middle though. Straight on the counter. Raids has been so quick with that. So effective, so fast to the ball. And he will be the key to the Azura attack tonight. So long may it continue. Dare we believe in an Azura win? It is still 1-1. 90 seconds left. Anyone's game.
Certainly is. Pepito wants to make it his. As he brings this one through, backboard gets bumped. Raids easily sends it away. 50 boost is not enough to chase the ball as Yuckles comes through and gets the challenge. Nice pop from Panda, looking for Raids. He doesn't find it on the first time. Gets a good challenge out of the corner. Clearance away is enough. Papatino will try and chase this, but again, limited boost, and he can't do so in time. The Azura line gets back and makes the defensive play. Less than a minute to go, Bromeo. Still 1-1. Last time we saw Azura take it in the final minute. Can they do it again?
Well, can they do it here right now? We'll find out. Shot coming in. Do it! Panda gets it in. And sometimes the simple pass, Raids popping it up down the middle and trying to go for the cringe bump. Doesn't get it, luckily, because that is a stain on your reputation, sir. But ultimately getting the goal up, and that's the only thing that matters.
When in doubt, give the ball to Raids. He won't score, but he'll find enough of a shot to find a pass, and Panda will finish the job. That seems to be the strategy for Azura Gaming, and it is working. An absolute treat 3 times now. Raids pass to Panda out of the 4 goals they've scored. And they have scored double the amount that Cosmico have in the series so far. 20 seconds remain. Divine trying to get down the field. The unsung hero, I guess, of Azura right now, keeping it real on defense for this Azura roster. Raid's looking for a bump. He's not going to find anything. It's still aggressive from Azura. They still want an extra goal. They're not scared of this Cosmico side. And why should they be? It looks for all the world they're going to be 2-0 up in the series, Bromeo.
Oh, here we go. Hits the floor there. You have it. AZG picking up their second game on the trot. Raids being the harbinger of chaos himself. Making sure Panda nets another brace and picking up the second win of the series so far. And what a game we're seeing. So I actually don't have words. I was not prepared for this script, Rhino.
No, I wasn't either. I also wasn't prepared for the game to absolutely screw Raids out of 2 assists, because let me tell you, it was his pass ball from both of those that led to Panda scoring. So unfortunate from the Rocket League gods that he gets a 0 on his assist tally. But yeah, this is an Azura side that we have not seen very often this series, and I mean that in the most literal sense. I'm not talking about the individual players showing up today when they haven't before. Raids' second game of the entire season, Bromeo, and he is a difference maker. You can see he's early challenging. He's making the plays. We wanted to absolutely rag on him in this series, but it turns out he's all right at Rocket League.
So here's a fun stat for you. Celestial has a positive goal difference of 12. And if you put a minus on that, it would still not be as high as Nightshade's negative goal difference at minus 19. There is no comparison here, but yet, chat, as you're watching it right now, things are changing. Trouble is brewing on the wind. And Raids, riding through the center of it all, is the calm of the storm. He brings it in. Can they make it a win? Can they bring it a third?
And I mean, the only people who don't really want to see that would be the Cosmico players and fans who have joined us here on the RSC stream. As Divine does get bumped away, Raids just gets his nose in front. He might have got demoed on the play. He's not going to care. He prevents that ball going in the back of his net, and that was his job. He's got another job to do here, actually. That's Panda pushing the ball away. A bump onto Papatino is enough to put him off. Looking for the pass in field. Panda won't get up first. Raids still able to bring it away. Boost stolen, though. Cosmico, a lot of pressure in the early going. Will it pay off? Oh, what a save by Divine!
Divine, what a save off the line. I thought that was a certain goal, but he had other plans. Panda taking into the corner will pick up the corner boost, but gets demoed in the process. But it is going to count as stolen. It's going to hit the backboard now. Yuckles gets the beat, keeps him out of trouble for now, but Raids, being the trouble himself, constantly across that Cosmico goal line, disrupting, destroying, demoing by Divine, and that is the recipe so far.
Certainly is, and Panda gets a nose in front there as well. Flashy Boy sends it away, ball into the middle from Azura, and they're actually going to build a pretty good attack here. It's just not a powerful enough shot from Divine to really trouble the Cosmico defense. But they've been troubled tonight, all right. They are going to have nightmares about this Azura lineup after this game. This is an opportunity for Papatino at the angle, hits the upright. And that's how close Cosmico, it feels, have been tonight. They've strung together some really nice passes. The offense has looked really good. The defense, actually, when it's been called upon, has looked very solid as well. But they've just been an inch wide, an inch slower, an inch too off it for Azura to take advantage so far.
Not being able to do it, you're right. Azura has been Cosmico's nightmare, but more aptly called Nightshade. As the pass comes down into the middle, Raids picks up the goal, and Azura getting one up once again.
Well, it couldn't possibly have been Panda, because Panda only scores goals from Raids' passes. So it was Divine who plays that ball into the middle for Raids. And it will be Azura who lead 1-0. 2 smiley faces on their side of the screen already. Looking for a third here, and they've started very well, but we did see this story happen in game 2 as well. Cosmico got back into that one before Azura saw them out with a minute left. Just wonder if that is the script for this series, and if it will follow again. Panda down the right. He's looking for the pass into Raids, but we know it only works the other way around, so it won't work out this time. And Cosmico can build a counter.
I saw Raids turn back in against the run of play. He's actively seeking the aggressive play. Raids getting the touch. Once again, it's going to fall down to Yuckles. Plays the ball across goal. It could be dangerous. All three of them in the corner there. They are clearly in disarray. Panda trying to get the bump. The ball is loose. And Divine now. Tank full of boost. Takes the 50. Can they get the shot in? Fakes one. Tries to get it in. But out by Flashy Boy. They have survived.
Yeah, but they're still building here. Raids just pops that one over to the left. Tries to get a pinch to the back post. Does find his man. But it's not Panda, and therefore Azura don't score. Panda now does pick up the ball, looking for that left-hand side. Papadinho clears it away off the ceiling. Who's going to read this best? And it's just about Papito, but Divine will still take the ball and run with it into the middle of the field. 1.5 minutes left. Cosmico needs something to save this series from going down as their second L of the season. At the moment, Azura are looking really, really good value for this victory too. This is unlike any Azura we've seen so far this season. And if they're going to start a late season run, well, this is how you start it.
And what a time to start it. There is still time to pull this one back. They've already picked up 2 wins from this series so far, and they're fixing to make it. 3-shot coming in, put against the corner by Raids. Divine collecting it perfectly. As they're winding down the clock now, they're happy to see it run to the corner. Panda not getting there fast enough up against the backboard, but nobody there to take the shot. You're gonna wonder, does Cosmico want this enough?
And we said before the game, right, that they had to want this more, because with a win they could go top of the table. But we've not seen that, Cosmico. We've not seen that side of them. They already cannot get the win. That is locked in. They are 20 seconds away from being guaranteed a loss in this series, and Panda almost tried to put the dagger in there. Didn't happen for him. Now this is the final attack, really, for Cosmico. Hit initially by Panda, but he can't get the boost. No second man to follow up for Cosmico, and I think you're right, Bromeo. It is just a question of, do they want this enough? They're not willing to throw the kitchen sink at Azura. They will have to now, as this ball is about to drop any moment. They keep it alive for now, and there it goes. Nightshade take the series victory.
Well, what are we witnessing here? Wow. AZG picking up the win this time. Raids with the solitary goal of the game, and yeah, I'll stick by it. I don't think Cosmico took enough risks. They were at that point where you have to throw everything at it, and as you can see, the amount of shots doesn't belie the urgency of it. It was 3 shots apiece, but ultimately not quite enough, Rhino.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because, you know, if you pressurize Carbon enough, right? Just go with me on this thought journey.
Okay,
if you pressurize Carbon enough, you end up with a lump of coal, which is useful in its own way, okay? You can use it to start fires, but generally seen as something quite dirty and quite rubbish. And a lot of players do turn into coal under pressure. However, apply higher pressure. Apply absolutely unfathomable amounts of pressure on that coal, and you will get a diamond. And we've done that to Raids tonight, Bromeo. We take responsibility for Raids' performance tonight because we told him we were going to pick out every single mistake in this entire series. We told him that he was going to be open to public ridicule if things were to go wrong. And he has turned around and said, fine, I'm just going to do nothing wrong then. And he's been perfect tonight. He is an absolute diamond, playing very, very well. And Azura deserve this series victory. Now, will it be the sweep, or will Cosmico have something to take away from this game?
AZG being the rogues, the scoundrels, the miscreants, making short work of this highly vaunted Cosmico side as they head into the 4th game. Already secured the dub, but they want it all. Raids with the shot in. Can they get it? Raids picks up the goal.
Was I not just talking about this map as not putting a foot wrong today? He continues that trend, catches up with his own play down the line, finishes into an empty net after taking it around 2 defenders. Azura Nightshade. I would ask, you know, where has this been for the entire season? Well, we know where it's been. It's been on Raids' PC, but not getting turned on, waiting for him to show up, and now he has. Suddenly, Azura look like serious contenders, and why not?
It's always interesting to see the highest ranked player on a team is usually the second man, but it is in fact Raids coming in that first man, so disruptive and so aggressive and abrasive, just shaking up this Cosmico rotation, attack and defense, just being an absolute menace, and that has ultimately been the difference maker here tonight. Panda putting enough of a fake there. That Flashy Boy missed out on a certain opportunity there.
Yeah, he did. They're going to try and recover this, though. Cosmico, the power of friendship on that left-hand side, is not powerful enough to get them a goal just yet. Raids flicks it past one, looking for the tempo. There's the aggression you were talking about just a moment ago, but has it caught up to him? Unfortunate backflips. I mean, Papatinho will not score an easier goal than that one. Just flicks past one. Divine, as we say, unfortunate backflips, and it's the equalizer.
The Mercurial Papatinho, always good, always solid, and unfortunately unable to be the difference maker here today, as I think all round Azura have been tight. Shot coming in here, it's gonna go high. Can they play the shot down now? It is still open. Panda now shooting high, hits the crossbar, and my gosh, they are playing with fate right now as Cosmico and Azura are still tied up.
Yeah, they certainly are, and actually they might not be anymore, as Panda rises highest in the pack. Seen as very lazy animals normally, but Panda's making it work today. He's putting in a double shift, and Azura have doubled their scoreline, 2-1.
As Panda rises, he tenderizes that Cosmico defense. Papatinho winning the kickoff. Can he get it in? Bended away by Panda. Now Raids taking into the corner. It's a little bit dicey here, but Divine making short work of it. He's going to seek a pass off. Doesn't have boost. Communicates it in time to Panda, who fires off that shot brilliantly. It's going to be a goal, and Raids picks up their third.
They're starting to have a bit of fun now, a Nightshade. The clearance away from Flashy, not good enough. Yackles cannot get up before Raids is there. And that will be a 3-1 lead for Azura Nightshade. And, well, I think Cosmico might have to go back to the drawing board. Celestial is their name, but they've been anything but so far today.
Anything but, and Azura have been anything but 10th. They have played like serious contenders. As Divine now trying to work up a little bit of magic on the line. Why not? He has no reason to think he shouldn't, as Azura had the rub of the green the entire game so far, as Yackles going for the Psycho off the backboard. Why not? But shot coming in, and Panda picks up the 4th.
And I think Yackles going for that that little bit of a Psycho might be an indication that Cosmico realize the state of play and realize where they are in this series. Something that I do have to tell you, though, Bromeo, is with this victory, with this win, if they do make it 4-0, Papatinho just scores off the kickoff because that's what he does. But if Nightshade do take this 4th game, and they will go 10-4 on this, 10-14 on the season as far as wins and losses go, which puts them up to 6th.
What?
It puts them up to 6th from 10 in the league. Now, every other team above them does still have to play this week and have their scores recorded, right? So it's with 1 game in hand. But let's argue that, you know, Deathcloud, Omnius, Shadow, and White Rabbit Gaming all lose 4-0. They would be 6th come the end of the week, which is insane.
Absolutely incredible. We want to see it. We want to believe in the dream. And right now, Azura are dreaming. They're up in the clouds. They're up in the cosmos as Cosmico are falling down to ground. But Flashy Boy picking up a return. And you feel that they're not taking this one lying down. They heard the Psycho attempt. They went, my bad. And now they brought it back. They are within 1. And AZG are going to have to knuckle down.
Yeah, here we go. Hey, a little bit of signs of life from Celestial. They're not going to be going down without a fight, as you rightly say. Divine goes by. Raids will collect out of the corner. Cleared away by Jackals. Divine gets enough on it, but Jackals is there. There's going to be an opportunity at the back post. And that's going to be Papatinho's hat trick. The captain of Cosmico was never going to take this lying down. And he's found himself in a perfect position there to equalize the game 4-4. And maybe Cosmico don't want to see Azura in the playoff contention.
Wow. Just like that, they're going to see another one here as Flashy Boy picks it up. And that is Cosmico's 5th goal and first time in the lead. And Rhino, I think they might be turning this one around.
Azura may have woken a beast that they did not want to see. Of course, this game is relatively ineffective when we talk about the series score, because this one is going the way of Azura. But Cosmico, just a reminder at the end of this series of just who the damn hell they are. But Papatinho puts this one middle. There'll be an opportunity. Backboard Raids. What are you trying there, son? Doesn't make it work. Does get beaten to the ball, but Azura still trying new things, still putting pressure on the Cosmico backline. There is still a goal in this one, I think, Bromeo. I just don't know who it's going to go to.
Well, with 9 goals being scored in this game so far, that is a pretty accurate summation. I will not be surprised if a goal is conceded from either. As pressure, Papatinho fending away, puts again 3 saves in a matter of 3 seconds, and up against the run of play, it's going to be Flashy Boy picking it up, and surely Cosmico take a win finally.
Please don't call me Shirley, Bromeo, but that is exactly where we find ourselves. 10 goals on the game. Cosmico Celestial. Just a glimmer. Just a little bit of what we can expect from them. And as I say, a reminder, a back to form game for them. Azura 4-1 up, remember, with about, 2.5, 3 minutes left to go. And suddenly they are facing a 6-4 deficit. How quickly Rocket League can change. Race does just enough, but it's not enough to take it away from Papatinho, who's having himself a day. 4 goals out of the 7. Cosmico take game number 4.
Well, some of these goals would have been pretty useful in the other games, as we have now seen a combined total of 11 goals in this final game. And Azura aren't going to take it, but they're not going to care, because right here, right now, Azura have picked up the dub, and Raids, in classic fashion, picks up the final goal.
One for the road, eh, Raids? You just couldn't let this game end and let us try and catch up with our what we needed to do for our schedule tonight. Couldn't allow that from the European, but nonetheless, will be a Cosmico win in the end. But Azura take home the series victory, and we can see there what a game from Raids and Papatinho. 843 score on a hat-trick game for Raids, 743 for Papatinho, with 4 goals to his name as well. A wonderful, wonderful final game of the series, and a great showing of what Rival can offer in the RSC.
I completely agree. In what world do you score a hat-trick, score 843 points, and still lose the game, Greybeard?
What was going on? I thought this was... I mean, halfway through, it's like, okay, we're on luck for our first sweep of the night. I mean, what a turnaround late from Cosmico. I think it was 4-1 at some point.
Yeah.
And then it ends 7-5. It's like that was in the last 90 seconds. It was crazy. But good to see Raids out there. Our podcast producer, sometime observer. I mean, he's playing out from EU, doing a bang-up job for Azura there. But guys, Rhino, Cosmico, not doing themselves any favors in terms of their chase for the title spot at top of the league.
Not in the least. And it was really concerning if you're a Cosmico fan for 3 of those games. Obviously, they brought it back in game number 4. It was almost like a flick switched after that 4th goal went in from Azura, and they were like, hang on a moment, we're Cosmico Celestial, we're second in the league. And they turned things on. But before that, it was relatively dismal. Look, they did keep a lot of the games close. They were one-score games, 2-1s quite a few times in those games in the series. But, losing to 10th is not a good look, and it's not going to strike the fear in the hearts of the teams around you, that's for sure. People are now going to be looking at Cosmico Celestial for the rest of the season and thinking, that could be games, that could be points that we can pick up. So as soon as you lose that kind of aura, that thought that you're one of the best teams in the league, suddenly things don't start going your way, and we'll see if that's the case over the next few weeks.
And that's the delight of league play. But talking about doing oneself favors, how about Azura Gaming, Bromeo? Because they've gone from 6 wins to 9 wins, which puts them from dead last into that play-ins position of 6. And to be fair, they they're now 4 games ahead of everybody else, so the other teams still have to play. But man, suddenly they've gone from like stone last to in contention.
That it can be like that way sometimes. We've had 5 weeks. This is the 6th. There is time to turn things around, and we've seen some very good results from Unity tonight, turning things around, and AZG are proving that they can turn some things around as well. Unity not getting the first win of the night, as Ox picked them off quite succinctly and deservedly so. But Unity Prospect doing the damage against Omnius, picking out a sweep, I think there. Was it 3-1 there, Ryan?
No, 3-1.
3-1. Okay, so then the game we just watched now against the Reversal of Fortune, AZG picking up a 3-1 dub, and finally heading the night to close a full tier night is a master game. It is going to be WRG Matrix versus Omnius Sovereign.
So again, we have, Sovereign struggling at the bottom. Only 4 game wins the whole season, so they want to turn that around. And it's been a night for the underdog, the bottom of the table guys, to make a comeback. But my goodness, have they got their work cut out for them at the top of the table there, Rhino?
Yeah, they sure do. As Matrix coming in on a very, very good season so far. Only 2 wins away from top spot is not too shabby in the slightest. And keeping their position from last week as well. 3-1-1. Performing very, very well. I would say they've been steady performers so far this season. I'd like to see them kick on. Of course, they've got that top salary player in Ravi, who we all know the quality of, right? There's no one around here who wouldn't say that Ravi is one of the best players in the region. But for me, they really need to find that team cohesion a little bit better and start turning some of those draws and losses. They've got 2 out of the 5 games they played this season, a draw and a loss. They need to be converting those into series wins, really.
They have the potential to go to top of the log if they pull off a sweep here, WRG. But they've got work to do, gentlemen. Bring us all the action. I'm going to make an early prediction. It's going to be 3-1. I don't know to which team, but it'll end 3-1. Because that's what's happened all night. Over to you.
Well, there is no prediction there. The smart money is on WRG Matrix, heading up with Galaxy as captain, long-serving WRG man himself. But in Sovereign, Mercury captaining out there and in a tenuous position, Rhino.
Yeah, we've got the battle of the AGMs, haven't we, here in this master matchup, as Galaxy, the AGM for White Rabbit Gaming, Mercury, the AGM for Omnius Gaming. They will square off. They will go head-to-head. You would imagine that would mean that they would like to bring their top rosters to this game. We haven't seen the rosters before this, though, so we don't know who is going to be taken to the field. We would like to see A versus A, but in weekly gameplay, Bromeo, you never know who's going to be coming in. So White Rabbit Gaming, although favorites, they need to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes that we've seen other teams make today and lose to bottom of the table. They need to keep their heads screwed on.
Well, it appears Matrix has scored 20 more goals this season than Sovereign, and the goal difference is also 20 in total. because they have conceded just as many. We're going to find out just now how much that is going to matter. Are they going to bring a heavy hitter tonight, Sovereign, or is Matrix going to do the most? Here we are. We're finding out right now. Your last game of tonight. It is WRG in white. It is Omnius Gaming in green. Let's go.
Oof, maybe should have been an early start there for Omnius, and there is still an opportunity. But it is cleared away by White Rabbit Gaming. Early aggression from Omnius Gaming off the kickoff. It looked really good on that attack. They just couldn't convert. They're going to try now. Booge goes over the top, wants a double, finds a double, doesn't find the angle though. And White Rabbit Gaming send it the other way.
White Rabbit surviving the early, but Nitro making it into the top 6, the final squad of the South African squad for FIFA E. So definite talent in this team, as Mercury watching from afar as Omnius Gaming survives an assault from WRG.
And it really is at this moment. There's a ball into the middle again. It's delayed upon, and there's an opportunity. And it's Applesauce to follow through. That is the way I'm going to pronounce that until proved otherwise. But wonderful, wonderful goal from Apple. Goes low, finds the finish. No one from Omnius can get there. And it is going to be 1-0 to the favorites, WRG.
It's so often you take names for granted.
Honestly.
And, applesauce is correct. It's just in a different language. It's applesauce.
Applesauce.
And applesauce. S-O-U-S. So we can call him applesauce and it'll still be right.
Great, good.
Yeah, he puts it into the corner and out straight away. And I wish there was a correlation between names because, you know, it's very difficult to make like applesauce memes, like a saucy shot. Yeah, we'll get there, but you need something like Titan. Takes a Titanic shot, takes a strong shot. You know, you guys need to get something on the run of play, and Ravi, we haven't spoken about at all, puts a shot against the run of play, straight like that.
Sometimes it amazes me how Ravi sees the field, because he has that vision to know that straight shot, if he gets past that first man, is going to go in the back of the net. He loves to put these pot shots on, but trust me, they are calculated every single time. He knows the state of play, and he knows that the defense isn't going to be there. So great work from Ravi. And by the way, I'm just waiting for there to be like a cross coming in from Ravi or from Galaxy. Applesauce gets on the end of it, and we can then say crisscross applesauce. That's what we need right there. It's not going to come yet, but at some point in this series, I want it. And it is Apple going over the top, going to be sent away by Omnius, who needs to get their feet under the table a little bit. They're 2-0 down. Even for all of their aggression they had earlier in the game, they've not made it work just yet.
No. Not having the best start is Omnius. Galaxy now getting on the counter there, doesn't get the bump there. And unfortunately, Omnius finding themselves in the position of defending far too often as Galaxy applies some pressure. Ravi's up. Can he get the double here? He gets the reset, gets the shot. But gonna get that one out, does Omnius Gaming.
Yeah, it's a nice demo on the recovery, though, from Ravi. Doesn't do enough to stave off Omnius's attack, as will now pick this one up. Over to the left side, realizes he's lost possession, so we'll just go to get the boost and let his teammates deal with this attack, and they might be able to here. Galaxy does enough. He needs the second, can't get it. Whoa! Booge finds the top right corner, and that is about as upper 90 as you'll get.
Booge with the banger, and I'm trying to figure out who Booge is right now, because we've got Nitro and we have got Mercury, so that means that it is either Clipsy. Oh, no. Yeah, it's either. No, that is weird.
It could be two FAs.
Yeah, it could be two FAs. We will find out. Production will find out for us, and we will let you know, because I'm thoroughly confused.
And then I'm checking the FAs. I see Nitro. Nitro is an FA.
Okay. All right. So that rules out. So there's still two players. It could be Clipsy. It could be Duckless. It could be Nuke. But right here, right now, it doesn't matter, as WRG are still up by 1. with a little bit left of a minute on the clock. WRG are in the driver's seat.
Bouge equals Ducklers. We've got it, folks. Nitro's an FA, and Bouge equals Ducklers. So there we go.
Okay.
We figured it out with a minute on the clock. We are going to just about get to the end of this one. Apple Sauce goes over to the right-hand side. It's all over the top of the field. And Omnius Gaming, if they can score, they will strike fear into the hearts of WRG once again. It's a situation where White Rabbit Gaming will have come in thinking this is going to be an easy game to win. It's proven not to be just yet. It's only a one-goal game, and actually that could change. Nitro backboard double, no. And that might be the last chance Omnius get.
Well, 30 seconds left on the counter here. Shot coming in wide. Nitro getting a little bit of a flixie poo off the line. And needed as we head down into the final 15. It's their last opportunity now to make an attack. Galaxy playing some plenty spoiling of his own as he plays it across the Omnius line. And they're dwindling hopes as it heads down now. It's going to go into the back of the net, and Ravi picks up the decider.
Yeah, he does. He stamps his mark on this game one, puts an end to it. Almost got taken off the play by his own teammate there, but did just get to the ball first. So with 3 seconds left, Omnius Gaming won't be able to find 2 goals, and that will do it for this one. Galaxy trying to keep the ball up. He's got Ravi following him, and Ravi might actually want this one. It will be sent over the top, and the ball will drop. White Rabbit Gaming Matrix take game number 1. But credit to Omnius Gaming, it wasn't as one-sided as people might have thought going into it.
It was a close affair ultimately, and very well played to them. Picking up an FA at last minute is never easy to do. Nitro picking up an assist in that. They will need to do more than that though if they want to take down WRG, and it is Ravi getting the MVP for the game with his brace of goals, but Galaxy not far behind.
Not far behind at all. No, Galaxy having a great game, 2 assists, and getting quite a few saves in there as well, being the savior really for White Rabbit Gaming, making sure that Omnius Gaming were kept out. Do look at both sides and you see 12 shots on one side. You see, I'm pretty sure it was about 10 shots on the other. So a relatively even game, as we mentioned. The problem is in clinicality, Romeo. That's where the problem is right now for Omnius Gaming. They're not able to make those shots become goals because the shots are either too weak or there are defenders there. They're not able to get around that defense of White Rabbit Gaming right now. They need to maybe find some trickery, maybe find some passes off the backboard, maybe just try and bring those defenders out of position. Demo plays as well are always welcome. Just try and disrupt that White Rabbit back line, because as soon as they can do that, they've got goals in this team.
Well, the synergy and cohesion of this WRG team is going to be tough to beat. And if Omnius want to stand a chance, they're going to find it fast with the FA and Nitro. It's not going to look like an easy task as Applesauce picks up the opener.
So my whole speech I just gave about, making it difficult and disrupting the White Rabbit Gaming defense and all that kind of stuff, that was predicated on the fact you don't concede off kickoff. Goodness gracious me, people not listening, I swear. As we've got 6 seconds gone in game number 2, and actually there might be an answer back. Duckless goes over the top, a good save on the goal line from, I think that might have been Galaxy. Ravi is going to go by, but the clearance is in. White Rabbit Gaming clear their lines, but all of a sudden, Omnius Gaming once again look like a threat.
They're always looking dangerous as Applesauce gets it into the corner, gets the bump, but ultimately couldn't get the pass down. But the pressure's not done yet as Galaxy takes the 50 on the goal line. Very well played there, but Ravi playing it down, couldn't get the shot in. Applesauce missing the opportunity there, but it is not done yet. They are playing a battle of attrition, but against the run of play there, almost had one to beat, but ultimately not there.
They're just, but hang on, Nitro might have found a gap. Galaxy, who we mentioned was the savior of WRG in game 1, proves to continue to be that in game 2. He's actually looking to be goal scorer now, drops it down, good save coming through from Omnius Gaming. Apple off the backboard will be cleared away by Omnius, but Rabbit Gaming, they just look more controlled in their attacks. The shots aren't necessarily so wild. The passes seem to be strung together that little bit more cohesively. Omnius taking shots for taking shots' sake, which is going to work at times. At this moment, though, White Rabbit Gaming is standing tall, and now Ravi tries to get down the left-hand side off the ceiling. Apple now clearing it away. Nitro pops it high. His teammate won't get there first. Apple pass, far side. Ravi double. Oh, that's spectacular from the previously high bomb man. Now finds himself on a different roster, but the same old plays from Ravi.
Ravi doing what he needs to do to pick up the 2. And WRG finding themselves in a similar position in game number 2. Omnius, they have some catching up to do. They've got some work to do. And here you have it. Straight off the wall, gets the shot in, but Ravi reading it well.
Yeah, certainly is. Mercury does drop this down. Looks maybe for the ground pinch. Doesn't have enough boost to make it stick. Ravi will take this one back to his own goal line. Sit away. Has to get there before the oncoming attacker. Doesn't do so, but now Galaxy has time, space, and boost. 3 things you don't want to give the captain of WRG. But in the end, Mercury does enough to make the save, bring it back the other way, gets a reset, but nothing more. Ravi doesn't get past Nitro. There's a demo. And now Galaxy bringing it through, wanting the Musty, not finding it.
Not getting the shot in. It is gonna go wide. Played off the line by Ravi, and he's already involved himself so much. Now he gets a Musty, and can he get the touch? And that was contender for a disgusting goal if he made it in. But Omnius surviving for now.
You know, Ravi's got the quality to make that kind of shot. It didn't work for him this time. But those Musty flicks are so quality. This time he just finds the shot from downfield. And I've already spoken about his game sense. There it is again. Knows Omnius Gaming are all too far pushed up. Get a shot on target. It will be a goal. And he makes it true. 3-0.
Whoa, what a play. What a showing. Ravioli doing the most. WRG now have 3 goals to their name, and Galaxy passes down to Apple's Toast. They have 4.
Say it with me, folks. Criss-cross apple sauce. There it is. The cross comes in. Apple sauce finds his goal. And that's going to be 4-0 to White Rabbit Gaming. Wonderful work. The passing play so smooth, so slick. And this is more like the series that we thought we were going to see just based on paper from the standings of both of these 2 teams in the Master Tier. Big pinch away. Coming through from Nitro. Ducklers wants to make something happen. Has 100 boost. Only uses it out of the corner. And Ravi gets enough of the clearance. But Omni is still aggressing. That demo should put a stop to their pressure. It absolutely does not, though. And there's a rule 1 on the sidewall. Gonna be a 2v2 for a little while, Bromia.
Off the play, off the counter. Number 5, WRG. What a goal like that. And Ravi sometimes doesn't need to do the crazy things. Sometimes just a shot along the floor does just fine.
He does the simple things so well, doesn't he? And that one is going to find its home. A hat trick, tip him if you've got him, for Ravioli. And with 1 minute 15 to go, I think Omnius Gaming, well, they certainly want out of this particular game as quickly as possible.
No, they do indeed. Shot coming in. Oh, so close there. Omnius under absolute fire. That's going against the grain, but not getting the shot. Ravi putting it in. And can they do it? Galaxy floating in. They cannot get a goal. They cannot buy a goal right now.
I'm in disbelief. I'm in shock. How have they not scored yet? Surely they score now. No. A miscommunication, malfunction at the junction. And with 30 seconds remaining, White Rabbit Gaming, I mean, their defense hasn't looked stellar, but it's been enough. And Omnius Gaming, their attack has looked, for lack of a better word, absolutely woeful as they try to break down White Rabbit Gaming. It's not working for them yet. Galaxy wants a pinch into the middle, but a demo will be found from Mercury. Tries to break down the field, has an empty net. Surely this is the answer! And the free agent does get one back with 1 second left.
Well, there you have it. 1 goal back. Nitro not happy with a 5-0. It's now 5-1. And maybe that one solitary goal will make a difference as we head now into game number 3. Chalk this game number 2. It is done. It is dusted. Omnius will want to forget it. But right now, they're not going to be able to forget it just yet, as Applesauce bangs it in from the middle.
Well, that might be as close as we get to a Brazil tonight. That's 1 goal away. Not bad. Not bad effort, everybody. Yeah, that's a completely unnecessary goal. Could have just let it hit the ground. Decided to get a little bit of stat padding done. And a hat trick in the end for Apple. So, you know what? Did need that goal. Did need it. I respect it. You got to get that hat trick if you're on 2 goals, so why not? But once again, Ravi rocking an 8-7-6 on the scoreline. He is pulling the strings for Matrix, and it is working.
Well, it's not just 1 hat trick. It's a double hat trick. Ravi picking up a hat trick. Applesauce picking up a hat trick. And only Galaxy not jumping on the scoreline there for the goals tally. But 6-1 is the final score of this game number 2. And Omnius are still doing plenty soul-searching, Rhino.
Yeah, they really are. Something that I do want to bring up actually was at the bottom of that screen. The demo count. Well, you know, I'm gonna pose this question to you, Bromeo. Did you see it? And do you think which team would you have thought had more demos in that game?
I've got to think about it, but I didn't see the demo count, so this is going to be completely put it to the wind. I would say that the team under pressure, the team that was getting abrased, would be the one to score more demos. So give me Omnius.
It was dead level. 6-6. It was, both teams putting up 6 demos each. And the fact that the scoreline is so disparitous, I don't even think that's a word, but it's one I've made now.
It's I can roll with it.
We're going to roll with it. You know, it really surprises me because Omnius Gaming, they are doing what I asked them to do after game 1. They are putting WRG under pressure. They are getting those demos. They are disrupting them. Matrix are just able to find something when things do go wrong, whereas Omnius, it feels like, have more trouble finding that communication when something goes wrong on their offense. But they find the first goal of game 3. Omnius are back, marching up the table. Here we go.
Well, just like that, Boosh passed out Nitro bag back in the net. And just like that, they picked up 1 goal. And they'll be happy with that start. Will Omnius Gaming, because despite a disparatous game so far, WRG looking very dangerous. Omnius picking up the first goal will be vital for their chances here in game 3.
Yeah, they do need this as Apple goes over the top. Will be cleared away for the moment by Nitro. Ducklers gets pretty good boost spawn there just as he was driving over it. Gets that 100. Reset for Nitro. Goes low. Galaxy was tried to be demoed by Ducklers. It didn't take. That second touch isn't gonna do Omnius any favors. And when I make an ooh sound, you know something's gone wrong. Poor from Mercury, capitalized on by Ravi. It's 1-1.
Well, we've seen 2 Psycho attempts tonight, and both of them ended with attempts. And so we'll leave it there. But praise be to taking the renowned Psycho shot. I don't think we've ever seen one on the RSC stage, so it will be momentous when it does. Nitro now taking it to there, beats one off the ceiling, shot coming down though. And ultimately, Omnius not getting the touch they needed as play quickly turning its heels in favor of WRG.
If either of the teams are listening, and White Rabbit Gaming win this game number 3, because I appreciate that Omnius Gaming need the win if they're going to be able to and bring this back to a level standard. But if White Rabbit Gaming win this game, please can we make game 4 just a Psycho off? Just both teams. Yeah, just only going for Psycho goals for the entire 5 minutes. That would be ideal just for the clip. That's all we need. just one clip, and then you can go back to playing Rocket League normally. There's an opportunity here. Ravi goes by, leaves it for a teammate. The Galaxy can't convert with Omnius Gaming making the defensive play, and they're still very much in this game. 3 minutes to go. Mercury gonna need to pick that one up, and yeah, it does just seem to be a little bit off the pace as Omnius Gaming's Mercury.
Getting the touch up to Ravi. Applesauce coming down the middle. Ravi trying to get the shot, but Nitro with the demo and the clear means a shot against the run of play here as Applesauce fends the clear, but there are booms abounding, and I can't even see who's getting demoed at this point because it is so vicious. There's just explosions.
Yeah, it's like a Michael Bay movie going on the field right now. Explosions everywhere. This one off the left. Ducklers looking to get there first, but once again, it's a White Rabbit Gaming car to get there first. Nitro trying to bring it through, cleared away by Apple. And now Galaxy over the top. Just going to take a straight shot, easily defended, but the second ball is going to be key. It will be picked up here by Apple. Ball into the middle, looking for Ravi, but Nitro re-jumped it almost. The demo on the goal line will be enough for Ravi to make the defensive play, but with 2 minutes left on the clock, Omnius Gaming, a chance maybe to bring themselves back into this series if they can find something.
Omnius Gaming have been much better this game of disrupting the WRG attack and getting out of jail. There was Omnius as an almost certain goal here. Applesauce, last man back. Can he get the flick off? Well read there by Applesauce, means that this shot should have come in. Not too much trouble there. Nitro now off the ceiling, pre-jumped by Ravi, means that attack comes to an end, and now on the counter.
Yeah, here we go. Galaxy gonna go up for this one off the corner. Who's in the middle? No one but an Omnius Gaming shirt. Send it away. Ravi just about makes that save. Didn't have a lot of boost. Made it a little bit more awkward than maybe it needed to be. Does make the save nonetheless. Galaxy left-hand side beats one, beats two, needs help, doesn't find it. Mercury sends it away. But a nice pass middle from Ravi is only met by Ducklers. Tries to get to the second ball once again, unable to. Two Omnius Gaming players go for that. Are they going to be punished for it? So close! Ravi finds the right upright, and it's still level with 35 seconds left.
Down to the last couple now. WRG, Omnius. No clear differentiator this game. Ravi not being able to stamp his authority yet. Mercury flying high, much better in the air than he is on the ground, it seems, as Bouge tries to get the shot. He fakes. It's not going to go in there, but that is Mercury picking up goal number 2 and surely the winner.
You would really hope so for Omnius' sake. Nitro took a shot. Ravi made a good save, but Mercury sends it right into that same position of the net. Ravi had just vacated the position, so Omnius' relentless attack finally pays off. And White Rabbit Gaming have 12 seconds now to try and find a response. Apple leaves it for Galaxy. I'm not sure he wanted to. Ravi doesn't get there first. Can they keep the ball in the air? Does bounce favorably. Brought forwards by Apple. Mercury wants to get this ball down on the ground as quickly as possible. Galaxy keeps it alive. Ball into the middle, no. Ducklers prevents it. Shot at the back post. It's hit the crossbar. And White Rabbit Gaming so close to bringing us to OT. But Omnius Sovereign, well, they take us to a game 4 with the series yet to be decided.
Wow. That was a humdinger of a game. This time, Omnius picking up their first game and playing like the team that we wanted to see them play. Nitro and Mercury, that cohesion is what's going to get them the next game. They need to keep it up.
Yeah, they really do. Been really impressed with the way that Nitro's been able to work his way into this Omnius Gaming side. Of course, coming in as a free agent is never easy because it's players that you maybe don't know as well. Of course, a lot of these players at this level have played with each other in multiple times before, but you know, they might not have that same chemistry as they do outside of their regular team. So Nitro coming in, doing a good job, and Omnius Gaming, they might be able to pick up their first result of the season. Make sure that they don't go 0-0-6 and get dangerously close to James Bond numbers.
Ooh. Yeah, no, it's not looking too hot for Omnius if they don't bring this one back, but at the very least, if they pick up this win, it would at least be a game tie, and that is some consolation for Mercury's men, as that will be a step in the right direction. So, final game of the series, final game of the night. Can Omnius Gaming salvage this one and pick up the draw? Is it WRG to take it all?
We'll find out. Galaxy's ball into the middle is not going to be met by a teammate. It's now the clearance from Omnius. They'll be playing with that momentum now that they got that game win in game 3. And they actually make it work. That's a nice pop by Galaxy. Needs Apple to come through. There he is, backboard. Surely the finish. And it will be Galaxy onto the right side of the post for WRG, 1-0.
Whoa. Early goals abounding. I think there's been an early goal in every game we've watched so far, and WRG picking it up now. And within the first 30, they get it done. So I think with this attitude, they're wanting to mop up this final one, secure the dub, and make Omnius pay. Bringing in the FA Nitro, air dribbling all the way through almost, but WRG with the clear.
And they're going to try and turn this into an attack now as Ravi just skims past a couple of demo attempts. Eventually, he will be brought down by the Omnius Gaming players. As Duckler's just shadowing that one. Nitro gets past one. Nice catch on the sidewall as well. Gets the boost too. Trying to make a few miss. Nitro off the right-hand side. This would be a lovely solo play if he saw it through. Unfortunately, did get denied on the goal line, but Nitro really starting to warm into this series now.
Getting into it well, but here shot coming down there, fended away by Ravi. Statement of intent from Omnius, plain as day. They want to pick up this game, but the fight, the challenge has been issued by WRG. Shot coming in here, it's gonna go wide, but Galaxy, ever present on defense, gets demoed. But more importantly, passes come in. Mercury picking up a clanger.
Here we go then, Omnius Gaming starting to play with a bit of belief that they might be able to get a result here against WRG, and able to get it beyond the two diving defenders. Rabbit Gaming concede. 3 minutes 22 left to go. Galaxy wanting to right those wrongs over the top. Mrs. Ducklers wanted an extra touch, didn't find it. Apple keeps the play alive. Out of the corner, gets another touch on it. Mercury will be there to send it long. Galaxy. It's in his face. Prevents the ball being cleared over the halfway line and does a good job in the corner. Pinch from Apple isn't really going to do too much good for White Rabbit. Big demo in the corner. Again, they get these little plays here, White Rabbit Gaming, but they don't really make them count into the big plays until Ravi comes across. I guess you can call that a cast a curse if you'd like. 2-1 with 2:47 to go.
Oh, banger of a shot. WRG proving that they are still the team to beat, taking the 1-goal lead, putting Omnius once again back under the cosh. But they're going to have to fight for it, as Omnius Gaming have shown. They're happy to demo, they're happy to fight. And this is still a long game on our hands as Galaxy tries to take the shot in. It's Applesauce getting it into the back of the net, and WRG are up with 3.
I'm pretty sure there's a bump on this play coming through from WRG, and if you just look there is on that right-hand side, Galaxy coming through, getting the bump on the defender. I'm not sure he was getting there anyway, but completely denied any chance of doing that, and suddenly White Rabbit Gaming have turned this game number 4 on its head. It's 3-1 to Matrix. Omnius Gaming need to find a response sooner rather than later, or we could be looking at another game 2.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. WRG, such a well-oiled machine, and it's that link-up play between all of them. It's Galaxy at the back, Ravi and Applesauce in the mid. And they're just looking so effective. Galaxy pulling off the technical play there. And almost resulting in a goal. It's going to be up against the backboard. Can they get the waterfall goal? No, they can't. Cleared by Ravi. But such impressive play so far as Nitro once again fends it into the middle. But it doesn't look like an attack that's going to lead anywhere. Fake attempt coming in by Galaxy. Almost did the most damage of the night.
I saw it happening a mile away, and I just started smiling. I'm sure production, if they're looking at my cam in that moment, just saw me beaming as I saw Galaxy go for that fake. Didn't end up working, but I love the fact he's going for it. That shows a confident player. Shows that he's very, very ready to take risks for his team, because if that paid off, it was a certain goal. Galaxy once again bringing this one downfield. No fakes this time. Ball off the back. Looking for a shot after Apple goes up. Another opportunity at the angle. Nitro makes a good save.
Very good save indeed. Demos everywhere. Still, I want to see the demo stats at the end of this game, because it has been brutal. Nitro taking a shot wide, but Ravi with the clear and happy to do so. Another demo pinch off the back, but demo again. And this has turned into a destruction derby. It is a sweat fest. There is so much explosions going on right now. Are they still playing the same game? We don't know. But do we care, Rhino?
We absolutely do not. 30 seconds left on the clock. Omnius needs something. That's an audacious risk taken by Ducklers. Doesn't quite work out for him this time. It will be picked up in the corner by Mercury. They need to turn this into an attack that scores them a goal. Backboard found. It's very powerful off the backboard. Double could be found here. Not going to happen. The clearance from WRG is in, which should mean the victory both in the game and the series for Matrix. And Omnius Gaming have made a habit of losing 3-1. This is now the 5th time this season they have lost to a 3-1 scoreline. There's only one game which was worse, which was a 4-0 sweep. But credit where it's due, White Rabbit Gaming put on an absolute show. Namely, Ravi and Galaxy played incredibly well.
Ravi on the rise for sure. Picks up MVP in that final game. Pip by 5 points. Galaxy so damn good. He's been really good this entire season so far. Not just for the RSC WRG side, he also plays for their main squad, and he's been really impressive. So it's good to see the continuity for this roster, and WRG doing the business at the business end of the season. So, Rhino, that was a game indeed. Do you think the writing on the wall was there from the start when they brought in an FA?
No, I don't. I think Omnius Gaming had to make a change. They had to do something because clearly things weren't working out with their current roster. So I think when you get into this latter half of the season, you feel like you have to try new things. So no, I absolutely don't. And I'm sure they would have worked with Nitro over certain time. And they did get that game win and they looked good. But I'd like to hear what Greybeard's thoughts on it are, because Omnius Gaming, they didn't look like the 10th place team that we know they are right now without a single win.
Well, the tough times continue for them without a doubt. But the headline news is that with that performance, and first of all, Nostradamus 3-1. I should have called it for WRG, as our producer Daniel quite rightly pointed out. I chickened out on that. He was like, yeah. As I left the live channel, he says, "Oh, what a cop out," and he's not wrong. But it's been 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1 the entire night. But with that 3-1 win, WRG Matrix jump to first place on the log from 4th place. To be fair, Cosmico and Deathcloud still have to play, but they have pipped Ox's Wildebeest for number 1 spot as it stands now. And Deathcloud and Monarch played earlier tonight. I don't know what the result there is. So yeah, like it is across all the tiers, gentlemen, it is heating up at the top, Romeo.
Well, it really is, and we had a look at it in the podcast earlier in the week, but the separation between these teams, Wildebeest on 16 games win, all the way down to Matrix in 4th on 14. 2 game wins separating 1st and 4th. And after 6 weeks of gameplay, that is absolutely incredible to see. So it's a treat that we're in for heading into the last bit of the season. 3 weeks still to go. And at this point, there is no clear front runner.
Rhino, it does beg the question. I mean, the way things are brewing, we may find ourselves in the situation of goal difference being the big separator come the end of week 9 league play.
Yeah, we absolutely might. And there is one team who is currently very much on top of that conversation. It will come as no surprise that it is the team that are currently without a draw or a loss on their record. 5 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses for Cosmico Supernova, who currently sits at a 35 goal difference. What is that nonsense?
Nuts. No, it is. It's actually just stupid.
It is silly.
That's ridiculous.
I'm trying to think. The next best is 15, so that's like a separation of 20. It's
20.
Fantastic, unbelievable stuff.
Silly. Absolutely silly. But yeah, you are absolutely right. Teams do need to start considering the fact that their goal difference is going to matter towards the end of the season. Certainly if you're in that top 6 right now, that's what you need to be thinking as you go into the weeks 7, 8, and 9.
All right, gentlemen. Well, there we go. We have had 4 series tonight, one from every tier, and it only gets hotter from here as we are now firmly in the downhill to the end of the season. At this time, in 28 days, we will have just wrapped up the Master Playoffs. That's how close we are. So, Rhino and Bromeo, I see you've magically vanished away. Thank you very much for being here tonight, and thank you for bringing the hype for the last 2 series. And that brings us to the end of the Week 6 broadcast. Remember, on Sunday, we will be bringing you a very special show match between myself and the youngest player in the Rocket League community, young King Dominus Rex, who's 9 years old, and the potential for me to be humiliated is very high. That'll be on Sunday, then the podcast on Monday, then week 7 league play next Thursday. So that's gonna wrap it up from us. Remember our sponsors, Genesix Extreme, Nearstream, and Slayer, making this entire Season 4 of RSC possible. Shout out to them once more. And from me, Greybeard, our match admin Heinz, our broadcasters Daniel, and the graphics guy Duploy, Borky and Tristan earlier, and then later on, of course, the Bromeo and Rhino. Thank you all for being there. Great work, but from me, Greybeard, and all of us, peace.
They do not know the rising towers of Hillbrow. They do not know the sprawling suburbs of the north. They do not know the sweet sounds of isiXhosa, Afrikaans, Sesotho. They do not know our ways. They do not know our people. They do not know us. We are not waiting for permission. We are not asking to be seen. We are our own region. We are SSA. RSC Johannesburg. RSC Nairobi, RSC Saint-Denis. This is not just a league, it is a movement. 4 seasons deep, and we are only just beginning. We train on 200 ping. We grind through blackout. We fight through silence. And we win anyway. This is Sub-Saharan Africa. This is our fight. This is Season 4.